Ah. Yes. Oh, yes. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. Hey, yo, Jeffrey Phillips, how you doing? Oh, your son's put to bed. Nice. Oh, the music. I love the music, man. So much. Hey, thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really appreciate you. You know, I just think you're the bee's knees. I think you're the cat's pajamas. I think you're just A-okay by me, you know. I just think you're the best. I just think you're the best, and I want to make sure that you always remember that I think you're the best. I never want you to think that I don't appreciate you. This is the most important time of my life. I don't know, it's the scariest time of my life, but it's also the most important time of my life. You ever feel that way? You ever feel like it's the most scary time in your life, but it's also the most important time in your life? Do you ever feel that way? I feel like that all the time. All the time. I do. And I don't know if I'm the only one. Let me know if that's the only, if you feel the same way. You feel like it's the most important time of your life, but also kind of the scariest time in your life. Do you ever feel that way? I definitely do, man. I feel like there's so many things to be worried about now. And I'm not as afraid to go. I'm not like a MAGA where I'm afraid to go into cities and shit, you know, but still, I just feel like life is full of mystery and mayhem, and I'm here trying to make sense of it all. I'm just trying to make sense of it all. I'm just a normal man trying to make sense of it all. Aren't you? Aren't you just a normal human trying to make sense of all this madness? I'm just trying to make sense of it all. You know? Today's topic is Erika Kirk dons the hijab. How do you feel about it? Erika Kirk is donning the hijab. It's getting intense out there, folks. It just turns out that religion, it was all just a costume, that it was never a real thing for her. And now because the Gulf states are becoming more and more powerful, she chases power and money. So she's going to wear the hijab from now on. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. Oh my gosh, that Chip guy. Why don't you call in, Chip guy? I'd love to have a conversation with you. Are you back from Berlin? It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to see you, that Chip guy. I love you, buddy. I love you. I want you to call in. It's morningsky.live/PYB. The core thesis of today is we present the prediction that as MAGA cozies up to Arab oil nations and Muslim majority nations flex their geopolitical muscle, figures like Erika Kirk will perform a costume change. The cross comes off and the hijab goes on. Same showmanship, new audience, and new merch. You know, you got to have new merch. Merch is the most important thing. You can't just sell Trump Bibles, because once everybody has all the Trump Bibles, you got to have Trump Qurans. And the same thing. So with Erika Kirk, she can't just preach all this stuff about, man, you can't preach all this conservative right-wing Nazi stuff about Jesus all the time. People going to get wise, you know? People get wise. And so you got to change the costume. That's always what happens. You always have to keep changing costumes in order to stay relevant in a cycle of power. The dromosphere is too quick. They know that. They know that this is coming to an end. They know they can't just keep pandering to the right-wing Christians for long. They know that they can't keep doing this, that the jig is up, and that more and more of them are backing away from this crazy person. Yes, it's happening. It's all grit for these MAGA weirdos. Of course it's a grit for these MAGA weirdos. It's always been a grit for them. But this is not just a MAGA thing where it didn't just come out of, MAGA didn't just fall out of the sky. This is how power works. Do you think that Senator John Kennedy talks like, now, I don't know about you, but I'm really upset about the price of gasoline. That's what he said back in January of 2021, that Americans will not stand for the gas prices being at $3.50 on national average. Well, they're at $4.50 now, national average, and Senator John Kennedy is like, nah, I just think that people understand that you need to bomb Iran and make the gasoline hard, otherwise people gonna get killed by those nuclear weapons. He doesn't even talk like that, man. It doesn't matter. It's always been a costume. It's always gonna be a costume. And I tell you what, the hijab is coming, folks. Hijab is coming. This is not about Islam, by the way. It's not really about Christianity either. It's about people who use religion as a political prop. The people who treat faith as brand identity rather than belief system. The satirical prediction only works because we already know that religion was never the point. The performance was. It's always been a performance. It's always been a performance. MAGA Christianity was never about theology. Never. It was a tribal marker. It was a tattoo. It was a tribal tattoo so that you could be in the club, to show that you're in the group. It's a way to justify hierarchy and how to monetize fear. That's it. I think they burnt crosses. Do you think the KKK burnt crosses because they thought about, oh, we're Christians? No, it's a fear tactic. It's always been the same. Man, that coffee's hot. Woo! Man, I'm almost out of tea. I'm completely out of coffee. But now I found in the back of my cabinet. You know, I used to live with some Mexican people, and they really like Nescafe, that like freeze-dried coffee, and they left a little bottle of it. So I'm gonna drink that. I know. I'm gonna drink it though. I knew a guy who made some side money selling religious phone cases, and made a killing until Shopify shut it down. Yeah, man. That's it. That's the ticket. Have you seen all these people come out where they're selling all this MAGA merch, and they're not MAGA? They just know that MAGA, they're a bunch of rubes. They're a bunch of marks. That's really what MAGA is. It's a collection of marks to be fleeced, and Donald Trump knows it. And everyone else clever enough to see it. That's why they keep on getting conned. That's why they keep on following. They're just marks. There's always going to be a large percentage of people that we need to protect, and that they're called MAGA. The unfortunate thing is that MAGA now has power. The marks have power. The people in charge. The people who vote for MAGA and think Melania coin is the future financial tool for American prosperity, those people are marks. They've been had. It's quite sad. Sad. Remember when Donald Trump used to do that? Sad at the end of all of his tweets. Sad. Yeah, it's true that you should avoid almonds, but it's not vegan by default. Oh, almonds. Oh, God. Look out for almonds, everybody. Almonds are the problem now. Anyway, she came from entertainment, so whichever way the wind blows, she'll be wearing that hijab pretty soon. She never left entertainment. She never did. But the real thing I love to think about is, the one I want to talk about today is how religion is kayfabe. And if you don't know what kayfabe is, it's really important. It's you got to know what that is, because we see it every day. It's the professional wrestling practice of maintaining the fiction that the performance is real. The people on the mat are pretending this is all real. That's called kayfabe. You know what I mean? The people like in a Shakespeare play, you're not supposed to believe that's real. They are not so supposed to be pretending this is real. It's all a play. But in wrestling, kayfabe is presented as if it's real. Even backstage, like in the interviews, and even when everyone knows it isn't, they pretend like it is. And MAGA Christianity is the same way. MAGA Christianity operates on the same principle. The pastors know, the politicians know, the audience knows, the MAGers even half know. Everyone agrees to keep the script running because the script is profitable. Who's on the chat? Bad Internet Crisp. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How are you, Crisp? Bad Internet Guy. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Oh, no. Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my internet is a bit spotty. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Is your PFP an ice cream cone? Aren't you promoting dairy?
No, because it's vegan ice cream. It was the best vegan ice cream I've ever had, man.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Ice cream without the murder. That's nice. Without the rape and murder. I didn't know it was possible.
Dark chocolate at the bottom and apple pie on top. Oh, so good.
Wow, you must have been vegan. You must be vegan a long time, huh? And the vegan has low protein internet. Dang it. Oh, that joke just never gets old. Low protein internet. Dang it. Never gets old. Ice cream man does whatever the ice cream can. It was chipper. It was wood chipper. That's right, Ray. That was. Sky is a G. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. You don't hold Melania coin. What are you even doing with your life? Mr. Good Citizen, that's exactly right. If you don't have Melania coin, I don't trust you as a real American. Real Americans have sold everything they own and bought Melania coin. We know this to be a fact. I don't know why we're still arguing about it. Why are we arguing about it? Want to join the billionaire class? Melania coin is your time to shine. It's your time to shine. And let's see. Chip, what do you say? What do you say, Chip? What do you say? All right, Chip. Nice work. Okay. All right. That's great. Thank you, Chip. That was fun. Can't hear a word he's saying, but I hope that he's having a good time out there in Berlin. Berlin, a place where people go to do stuff. Don't forget to feed the robotic dogs at the Sony Center. Thank you. Real Americans have Trump coin. No. Melania coin. You guys, you're so wrong. Melania coin? No. Trump. No, not Trump coin. Melania coin. I'm selling my house to buy Melania coin. Of course I am, because I'm a real American. Fuck, that coffee's hot. God damn it. Yeti coffee cups. They burn my goddamn face off, Yeti. God damn it, Yeti. You're burning my face off. These things, man, you think it's like it's all cold on the outside. You drink, you're like, God damn, it's fucking hot. Oh, God, Yeti. God damn it, Yeti. You did it again. New Mexican bed and breakfast plus van. Ooh, I like it, Veggie. Thank you. I don't know. I should learn the state anthem for New Mexico, shouldn't I? I should learn that, right? Like, what is the state anthem for New Mexico? There must be one. Let's see what it is. The official song of New Mexico is "Oh, Fair New Mexico." Oh, Fair New Mexico. That sounds like a fun song. Thank you so much for the $20, man. I am so stoked for that. I'm trying to make enough money to make enough money. I'm trying to make enough money to stay in my house for a few months so I can sell it. Sell it without going into foreclosure. That's the idea. That's the idea in America. Try to sell your house before it goes into foreclosure. That's my plan. Yes. New Mexican bread and breakfast and a van. I love it. I'm trying. I'm thinking about, I know there's lots of rules about bed and breakfast out there, about Airbnbs, but maybe I'll get a license for a bed and breakfast. Why not? Thank you, Veg in the Woods, for supporting the channel and supporting independent media. You're a goddamn revolutionary, and I love you for it. The state, hold on a second. Wait, let's see what it sounds like. Let's hear it. Here we go. Oh, I love it. What? It sounds like the Gypsy Kings. Come on.
Under a sky of azure, where balmy breezes blow.
Oh my God, I love it.
By the golden
Sunshine is Nuevo Mexico.
Home of the Montezuma,
With fiery hearts aglow.
State of the deeds historic is Nuevo Mexico. Oh, fair New Mexico, we love you so. Our hearts
Come
with
on.
pride will flow, no matter where we go. Oh, fair New Mexico, we love you so.
Come on, this is brilliant.
State to know, New Mexico.
Okay, that was worth it. That was worth it. I'm moving to New Mexico now. I'm moving to New Mexico, everybody. That is happening. After that song, I am now moving to New Mexico. Thank you, everybody, for joining. See you later. I'm going to New Mexico. The song slaps. The song slaps. I want to be under a sky of azure. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. I'm going. The train can... Oh, you're on a train. We will carry the flame. Lamentations 5:21. What's your ELO? What's your ELO? I want to know. What's your ELO? What's your ELO score? Sky, you don't know how to dance. That is just mean. I was dancing to New Mexico. I'm dancing to New Mexico. Oh, how we love you so, New Mexico. What do you mean I don't know how to dance? I'm a dancing fool. I'm in between Appledoom and Amersfoort. Oh, you're in the Netherlands again, huh? Well, good for you. Welcome back to the Netherlands. Welcome back to the Netherlands. I'm glad that you're back. All right. If you don't know, this channel is about... Well, no, this episode is all about the costume. The religion is Kayfabe. Religion is Kayfabe. Sky does all his dancing horizontally. Yeah, I'm on the horizontal lambada. I love the horizontal lambada. Yeah, baby. Berlin is pretty cool. Everyone loves Berlin, don't you? A man gets tired of Berlin, he's tired of life. As MAGA's geopolitical center of gravity shifts towards the Arab Gulf states as Saudi oil money, UAE investment, and Qatari sovereign wealth funds become the new preferred partners, the political Christianity that served as tribal glue, it'll need to adapt, folks. That's why Erika Kirk is donning a hijab. That's right. Performers adapt. Believers don't. We have to go with the times. It's time to wear the hijab. Erika Kirk is all in. That's the test, and it's a test the Kayfabe class will fail on schedule. They will be absolutely in. Call in. Let me know how you feel about Erika Kirk donning a hijab. morningsky.live/PYB. morningsky.live/PYB. I want to talk religion so much. How come you're not calling in, buddy? You got to get yourself some better internet service. You have to. You just got to get yourself some better internet service.
Rugged and high Sierras with deep canyons below, dotted with fertile valleys is Nuevo Mexico. Filled full of sweet alfalfa, richest perfumes bestow. State of the apple blossoms is Nuevo Mexico. Oh, fair New Mexico.
I love this song.
We love you so. Our hearts with pride.
I tell you what, I am definitely going to be playing that song more. Hey, how you doing, bad internet smarty guy? How do you feel about Erika Kirk donning the hijab?
Wait, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Erika Kirk donning the hijab?
Yeah, so what does that, what did she do exactly? Sorry.
You know who Erika Kirk is?
Uh, was, no. Um,
No internet. Bad internet guy. This poor guy just doesn't know what he's doing. What do you mean, Traveler says? What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean that Erika Kirk is going to start wearing the hijab. Everyone understands that, right? You understand what's happening here? As
wait, she's
MAGA's
gonna do that, really?
As MAGA's geopolitical center of gravity shifts towards Arab Gulf states, Saudi oil money, UAE investment, and Qatari sovereign wealth funds become the preferred partners. So political Christianity that served as tribal glue will have to collapse or adapt. And so now, instead of pretending to be Christian to get the southern United States suckers on board, she's going to have to be more. Look at Melania put on the hijab. Next is, I mean, she actually did put on a hijab. Next is Erika Kirk.
Isn't the hijab the thing that Muslim women wear?
Yeah.
Why is she's not Muslim, why is she wearing it?
Because she has to start being on board with Muslim ways. She has to. She can't just keep going on with pretending to be Christian. Since it's all an act and you're only doing it for power, well, the landscape is changing. We're trying to get more and more in bed with the Gulf states. You understand? So she's going to have to wear a hijab in order to get the people that she wants. You understand now?
I get that. I get the joke. Sorry, you had to explain it to me.
It's
I'm a bit
okay,
slower,
Chip.
I guess.
It's okay. It's okay.
But let's talk religion, man. I'm here for the religious talk. Let's talk about it. All religions are equally stupid, or what are we talking about?
Well, why is religion stupid? Why do you think it's stupid? Tell me.
Why is religion stupid? Well, did you hear about this thing that Christians cannot go to hell?
What? Why not?
Yeah. Because if you believe in Jesus Christ and whatever it is that you did, you'll go to heaven because all you have to do is accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, right? That's what they say.
They do say. So what bothers you about that?
Well, if somebody literally locks up a woman in their basement, rapes her consecutively, gets her pregnant, kills the babies, eats the babies, and eventually eats the woman, does that for 30 years straight,
Okay.
and then says, I believe in Jesus Christ, then they go to heaven, and then they're, what the hell?
So what's your problem with that? Why do you have a problem with that?
Because that essentially means that there is no morality for Christians. There is no right or wrong. There is just, if you believe in Jesus Christ, then that's it.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
then let
There's
me
no
ask
right or
you,
wrong.
then let's go down that rabbit hole. Why is that a problem for you? Why is it a problem for you that religions think, many religions do this, right? They think that because they're part of a religion, that gives them, I guess, moral license to do whatever they want, essentially. Why is that a problem for you?
Because most people are either too intellectually lazy or not smart enough to actually challenge their moral values. So they end up just listening to whatever they're told by religion, because religion kind of feels like it's about morality, right? Religion feels like it's about morality, right?
Does it?
Yeah, it kind of does, because it's like, do I really want to be, because they have this whole punishment thing, right? Like hell is a punishment and heaven is a reward, right?
Yeah,
and
but
you
hell is a
kind of
punishment for stuff that isn't morality. Hell is a punishment for not believing in Jesus or not getting married, fucking before you're married and stuff like that. Like that's not morality, right? That's just dogma.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what I think so too. But um, it does like doesn't the Bible have? I mean, which is essentially the sacred book, which essentially describes what Christianity is about. It does have passages where it explains what is right or wrong, but then it also erases all that and says, "But you know what? None of that really matters. If you believe in Jesus Christ, you're all good. You can go ahead and rape and pillage." Sorry for the word. Yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you want, as long as you. There's some people that believe that, but most of them will say, "Well, but Christians don't act like that." So that's how you know someone's saved. Like, how would you know if someone's saved versus someone who isn't saved? You would know you know them by their deeds, and that's in the Bible as well. But that's neither here nor there. See, I think the real problem here, Chip, if I may, would you mind if I get on my little hobby horse?
No, it's unacceptable.
Good. The reason why I think that you have a problem with, and the real reason why I think most people have a problem with religion, isn't because it feels like morality or like they contradict themselves or they preach dogma that's usually not actually blah blah blah, or they cherry picked up. I think it's because it's all kayfabe. You know it's bullshit. They know it's bullshit. They know it's a lie. They know there's no God. When you go to church, everyone sitting in that church knows there's no God, but they're involved in this this ritual so that they can all be part of a club. And that club brings with it tribalism, community, power. It can bring wealth. All of it is a bullshit dance that they're doing, and they know it's fake. And that's like the upper echelon of hypocrisy, right? I really think that people don't hate true believers. If they're a real believer in Christ and they act like it, and they just really, that's truly what they believe, those people are usually not the problem. The problem are people like Erika Kirk, who is just as likely to wear a hijab as she is to wear a cross. The cross does not matter to her. The cross never mattered to her. It was always conditional. MAGA Christianity has no problem allying with thrice married, philandering casino owner, chomo Donald Trump, right? Who can't even name a Bible verse, who literally calls it 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians, doesn't even know the names of the Bible verses when he reads them out loud. It has no problem. Huh?
So the problem with religion, right? That's the problem, that it allows people within power to control the people without power.
That's this
Religion essentially
purpose.
says to the
That's why it exists.
that's why. But that's why they're all stupid, because they're just a tool for the powerful to
You
be able
call
to
them
oppress the
stupid,
powerless.
and there's always going to be some people that are just marks, right? They're just suckers ready to get fleeced by people like Donald Trump and Erika Kirk, right? You're right. There's some of them are like that, but most people are not like that. They are in it to win it. They're in it because they know they're better off in the church than out of the church. They know that it's a hard road if you don't show up to church. It's always been that way, man. In America, they used to have people with long sticks that would literally poke people to wake them up in church. Like a dude would stay in the back with a long stick and poke people awake.
Really?
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's
Why
what.
would they wake them up? At least let them sleep. What the
Because
hell?
their soul's got to be saved, man. Because it's all about control. It's not about saving souls. It's about controlling people while they live. And that's always been the case. And the people in the church, they could stay out, but they don't wanna. Because they know that they're wrong. They don't want to go down anymore. They know there's people over them, and they know there's people under them, and they don't want to go down. So they'll invest in the system so they could stay exactly where they are. All I got to do is show up on Sundays and pretend I believe in this shit. That's the problem. And that's what the worst part of people like fucking Erika Kirk are, She has no problem with prosperity gospel, like, oh, rich people, they believe in Christ more, so that must mean that they deserve, Jesus decided that they deserve more money. They say that shit. They have no problem with that. They have no problem with January 6th prayers. No problem
Wait,
with
what? There's There's January 6th prayers.
Yeah, there's January 6th. There was then when it happened, and there's been since January 6th prayers to pray for.
Like in favor of it?
Yes.
Jesus, man.
People used to stand up outside of the prison where these guys were and pray for them. I mean, Cash Patel started a record label so he could release the January 6th choir music.
And how do people buy this shit? Like, and I don't mean like literally buy. Like, how do people like metaphorically really trust?
This is the problem, Chip. This is where I think the real problem is. These are people who are watching WWE and pretending like it's real, and demanding that you pretend it's real as well. That is what I think the problem with religion is. It's this. It is this lunatic mode of hypocrisy. And what's really funny is that all these fucking debate shows on YouTube, they sit there and they argue, well, I don't think there's a God. Do you think there's a God? No, I think that there's not a God. And they argue about the existence of a God, and it's stupid because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's a God. What matters is how you're controlled on planet Earth right now in the 80 plus years you might get, if you're lucky. If you stay healthy, you might get 80 years. That's what matters.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, first of all, I think it's an interesting question whether there actually is a God. It's an interesting exercise of where are we? Where do we all come from? Why are we the way we are? Why do we feel the way we feel? But like, it's an interesting exercise, and I think like I like that religion somehow kind of poses that exercise, but religion does religion even pose that exercise, or does it just shut it up by saying, "Shut up, this is how it went"?
Yeah, exactly. It's a thought limiting cliche. It has cult there's so many cult things in. That's why religion, like I wouldn't say I do say this sometimes that all religions are cults, but really we know that religions are always kind of close to being a full-blown cult, right? So it's so easy just to like flip a couple switches and you go full-blown cult mode because you already got the thought-limiting cliches, the high control environment, the high cost of exit, the charismatic figurehead. You have all of these markers of a cult. So it's really easy to start to make a religious cult, right? And the people don't have to believe it. Think about forget about like major religions, Heaven's Gate. A lot of those people didn't think that fucking aliens were going to come on the Hale-Bopp comet. You think all those people believed that shit? They were losing members. But people who had been with the cult for like 30 years.
It's a cult. What do you mean? Like, it's by default. They follow one person. They think that he's the Messiah. Is that like what a cult is?
Yeah, I think that religions almost every religion is so close to a cult. I see the problem is like, oh man, it gets like the idea of Catholicism or Christianity or Baha'i faith or Islam or anything, that in itself is not a cult, right? So to say religion is a cult is a little bit unfair. But if your sect or your church is a cult, right? Your mosque is a cult. And it's really hard because you can't leave it, right? You could leave it and still be like, there's people who don't go to mosques or aren't a member of a mosque, but they still are practicing Muslims, you know what I mean? Same thing with Christianity. Plenty of people call themselves Christians but don't go to church. Are those cultists? I don't think so. I think they just they like to passively believe shit. They're not in a cult. You know what I mean? And that's why I think calling religion cult, even though I do it, I don't think it's really fair. I don't think it's true. I don't think that religion itself is a cult. Religion itself is, at best, a mass delusion. But the churches themselves and the little sects that they form and all that's fucking cult. You know what I mean? Baha'i faith 100%. Seems cool. Baha'i faith seems cool. Baha'i faith is kind of cool, but never forget, like, their whole idea is that religion is a vessel, like a cup, and you can pour into it whatever you want. It's a whole thing. Religion's the liquid, and I forget how it works with Baha'i faith. I've had some very good friends who are Baha'i faith.
But it amazes me, Sky, because I never understood this, how in the trend is, countries who become more developed and richer and better standards of living, people end up being less religious, right? Like that's why Western Europe is less religious than Eastern Europe. But then you look at US, which is a pretty well developed country, pretty high standards of living, and then it's like most people are religious there. So
Well, a lot of people
what's going
call
on
themselves
there?
religion. Let me put you on hold just for a second, Chip. Hold on. Don't go away. Don't go away. Look who killed Charlie, dumbass. Yeah, Charlie Kirk follower killed Charlie. A person who followed Charlie Kirk killed Charlie Kirk. That's all. That's all that happened there. It was an inside job. It was one of his own people. That's who did it. Bingo. That's all. A kid raised by MAGA in a MAGA household in a MAGA state at a MAGA university killed Charlie Kirk. If you accept the standard narrative, that was a MAGA kid. He was a Charlie Kirk fan. That's who did it. That's it. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Chip, I think the reason why we have this thing with Americans looking more religious and believing in angels and shit. I saw this was so crazy. More people believe in America. 2% more people, like 29% of Americans believe in ghosts, and only 26% of Americans believe in the war in Iran. And I think more Americans believing in ghosts than the war in Iran, than supporting the war in Iran, is a beautiful statistic. And I think Americans, a lot of us, it's a big country. You've been here, man. You think that I'm like somebody who was raised in Missouri? Someone in Missouri, they believe in magic and shit, dude. And I'm from,
Fair enough, fair enough.
like I'm not like those guys, and it's hard in America. We got a lot of people in Oklahoma and Tennessee. They're not all like that, but there's a lot of people living out in the Ozarks and shit. They believe, or they claim to believe, because it'd be too hard if they don't believe.
But let me ask you this, Kai. Do you think the world would be better off? Maybe not. Like, I don't mean like if religion never existed, but if, let's say, tomorrow we erase religion face of earth, like from everybody's minds and from everybody's collective memory, all
Yeah.
all the culture that religion kind of gathered remains as a tradition that we kind of forgot where it comes from, or we're
Okay.
like, yeah, kind of funky thing we do, so we don't
Yeah.
lose the traditions and everything.
Okay.
Essentially, we just lose the faith. If we lose all the faith and all that
Yeah.
moralizing bullshit and blindly following the rules of religion, do you think that the world would be a better place now? Because I tend to think so. I tend to think yes.
If you could somehow just erase people's faith, sure, I guess so. But I don't think people actually have faith. I think we're already living in that world, Chip. I think that most people use the idea of God as a metaphor for beauty, love, and virtuosity, goodness. And that's how most people think about God. It's a metaphor for the good stuff. And they don't actually believe in heaven and hell. I mean, most people, you think they think that their little doggy ain't going to heaven. Like, think about how that's why people cherry pick. That's why people do all these things with religions. It's not real. They know it's not real. That's why it's kayfabe. That's why Erika Kirk would gladly don a hijab to make an extra buck, because she doesn't actually care about Christianity, and none of them do. The ones who sit in the pews and stuff, they probably think that God is a great metaphor for good shit. Sunshine and fucking roses and a breeze on a summer day and all that stuff. They think that little puppy dogs and that's you could see it in the way it's written, right? Snakes and leeches and spiders, that's the devil's work. But puppy dogs and elephants and sunshine, that's God's work. It's even written like that, and they're all like that. They don't believe that there's Boston Rob's rating. Great. Thank you, Boston Rob.
Who's it? Is it, forgot the name. The guy who said that it makes God rather than us. If you believe in a God, chances are you might go to heaven or whatever.
Pascal's
But if you don't,
wager.
right? Like, That's
talking
it,
about
Pascal's wager. Thank you.
Pascal's wager, like the
Yeah.
idea that you have infinite upside for believing in God, so you might as well believe in God. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that, first of all. That's highly illogical because you might believe in the wrong God. But I feel like a lot of people engage in that type of thing, right? In Pascal's wager, thinking that, I'll just go along with it. What wrong could it be? What if they're right? That's the type of situation, I don't want to go to hell. What if they're right?
That's exactly it. It's not really about hell, though, right? It's about the infinite upside. That's what on Sunday. You weren't here on Sunday. I was talking about Pascal's wager on Sunday in your absence on the Ethical Underground. And I think Pascal, the reason why Pascal's wager is still so important is not because of God. It's because there are certain things you can bet on that have infinite upside, even though it's going to be hard. Like, for example, in my YouTube career, I can bet on myself and go all in on content creation, media, my independent media thing, creativity, do my creative life, because the upside is infinite. And the downside, if I lose and my YouTube channel fails and I end up, what's the worst case scenario? I go and get a shitty job. So the Pascal's wager is bet on yourself. Bet, because the infinite upside is obvious. And the downside is you're just going to be right back where you were, where you're now anyway. Do you see what I mean? Pascal's wager isn't really about picking the right God or any of that. It's about, if you are presented with the option of infinite upside, take the bet. You with me still?
I
Or
see
did
what
you
you
cut
mean.
out?
Yeah. No. I see what you mean. You're right. You're right about that. More sense.
I want to thank a couple people. Hold on. Gifted One Sky Jack member. Thank you. Honest Doubter. Thank you, Sid Life. Thank you, Sky City Rebels. Can I get some emojis in the chat welcoming all the new folks who are getting memberships right now? And also thank you to the folks who are donating. Thank you. Like, I think about this all the time because it is so hard. It's so hard doing a channel. It's so hard betting on myself. It's so hard trying to live a creative life. But I know the opposite. The opposite. Yeah, I know it's so hard, but I know how. But I know how shitty it is to sell out and go work for some asshole and work 60, 70 hours a week for somebody. I know what that's like. That's hell. So I might as well bet on heaven.
I like this. I'm actually in a dilemma like that myself now. So I like what you're saying. It's making me want to go down the route that I actually like.
That's the thing, right? I have to think about it a lot, though, Chip, because I've met these crossroads before. So I think everyone's lives, if you're lucky and you're out there living your life, you will find a fork in the road where Pascal's wager applies. And it's fucking scary. Because you're choosing between heaven and hell, but the road to heaven is so hard.
We got another membership person. Nice donation.
An Honest Doubter, another one. Thank you. An Honest Doubter. Thank you. Can I get some emojis in the chat, some W's in the chat, some helpful hints for people? Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes,
yeah, but
thank you.
You're right about that, and I agree with you that the Pascal's wager, but I feel like Pascal's wager is about God. Oh, it's about the infinite. What you just said, and it makes
infinite
a lot
upside.
of sense. Infinite upside, but it doesn't make sense to believe in a religion. It just makes sense to believe in a God, right? Religion still remains a massive scam.
Well, religion is absolutely a massive scam. The churches are a massive scam. And the worst offenders are people like Erika Kirk, people like Donald Trump, who are pretending. That's where you get the real nastiness, right? Because here's the thing. You come to Pascal's wager and you're like, well, is there a God? Right? I think every human being has asked themselves that question, right? Don't you think every human being has asked that question at some point? Is there a God? Even like isolated tribes ask themselves that question. And so you arrive at Pascal's wager pretty young, I think. And you have to think, if there is a God, then I want to do my best to be on that God's good side. And culturally, the culture that you live in will decide what God that is, right?
But
Your
what if
neighbors tend
God's
to decide
big?
that for you. Huh?
What?
Joel Osteen. Oh my God, I haven't heard that name in a long time. Joel Osteen. Yeah, Joel Osteen, Smoking Blondie. Exactly, Smoking Blondie. Yes, indeed. Smoking Blondie, that Chip guy does his own lives. He does. He okay, while Chip is in internet hole, Chip, I'll plug your channel. Chip is an amazing street activist. He stands in the street and he talks to people, mostly in Amsterdam, but also Berlin sometimes. It's pretty great. Is Chip a deist? No, I'm pretty sure Chip is an atheist. Yeah. Sid Life's feeling it. Sid Life knows what I'm talking about. But I guess my point is that at some point, very young, you come up to the point where you're like, you encounter Pascal's wager. And when that happens, you have to then, because you're in your culture kind of decides what God that's going to be, and your neighbors decide that for you. And you have to decide, okay, am I going to do it the hard way? And everyone's going to call me a loser, hate me, I'm not going to have any friends, I won't find a wife, all of these things because I don't believe in God, or should I go the other way and believe in God and have an easier life and potentially go to heaven? Infinite upside. Chip, are you okay? Chippy, 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 chippy. Chippy, chippy, chippy. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? You got to unmute that mic, playa. You got to unmute that mic. A non-violent vegan. No, Sky. Why no? What's the no? Why no, Sky? Erika trying to use a mom stare without being a real mom, so it's just creepy. Oh my God. Doesn't she have she has kids. She has kids. Drop your mic, bro. Dropping it. But you're literally born a sinner and a loser. You have to unmute themselves. You can't unmute the guest because the guest has muted himself. How you doing, Chip?
Sorry, I'm sorry. My internet is very spotty. I'm
No, I
gonna
understand.
try.
You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize. But Geen says, but you're literally born a sinner and a loser. Original sin is something that you take care of at baptism. So that's why baptism was invented. So that's usually decided before you have a decision. You
Okay,
usually
so
don't get that. Yeah.
I don't know how much you've heard about what I was saying, but couldn't you make a better case that God is a dick and God loves suffering? So, given how likely that it is more likely that you will have a life of suffering than a life of pleasure, given that the Bible says that the animals who can suffer are made for us to inflict suffering on them. Maybe God just wants us to create suffering. So then, why would we be good in the way that we feel is good and not in the way that we have to make people suffer?
I think it's interesting that you automatically give God some kind of agency here, but I will say that in the Bible and in every religion, it's not about causing suffering. It's contextualizing your suffering. When you suffer, like losing a loved one, it's part of God's plan. God has a plan, and you need to trust that, and that'll make you feel better because it is part of God's plan. And you'll see that person in the afterlife if you take Pascal's wager, if you take the bet that God exists, you'll see that person later. That's
Yeah,
not
but like,
goodbye. And now when it comes to the animals, there's even that. Every religion also surrounds that in ritual in order to contextualize the suffering of the animals and make it okay because you ritualized it. So, I don't
yeah,
think
but
that you can make a case that God wants you to suffer.
but you know the case for antinatalism. Have you heard of? I forgot the name of it, but this idea that if you're gonna be born as a sentient being,
Yeah.
you will definitely experience suffering. Like
Yeah.
100% sure you'll experience suffering, but it's not 100% sure that you will experience pleasure, or that
Well,
the pleasure will somehow mask the suffering, or it will be worth more than the suffering itself.
I
And
mean,
not only that, but then you are born in a situation where you continuously want to live, even if you do suffer a lot of the times. or if the suffering is spotty or something. So doesn't that sound like cruel? To suffering itself just seems like like a cruel thing to do. It's like a torturous thing.
Okay, so we've talked about the nature of suffering many times, and so have so many philosophers, right? We have the Romanian that I liked, Shauron. My second favorite Romanian, Shauron. We have Schopenhauer, who talks a lot about suffering, like the difference between suffering and joy. And it's also the domain of poets, the idea of heartbreak versus joy. Like, is heartbreak worse than falling in love? Do they balance each other out? Is it worth it? These are questions that poets and philosophers struggle to answer. And religion struggles to answer them as well. But what you're doing is engaging in this like global statistician's view of the planet, and religion doesn't do that. Religion's not going to look at the great humanity on average will experience this amount of suffering. What it says is that yes, suffering exists, and yes, it's part of life, and yes, it's necessary for your own growth. It's necessary for your own journey towards God, and your relationship with God is going to involve some pain. And that's part of God's plan too, so that you appreciate the love and the joy and all of those things more. And even like,
But isn't that the fucked up part? Like why wouldn't it be like if there was a God, why wouldn't God create you with the capability to reach them or to reach enlightenment or to grow without suffering?
because it would take away the meaning of life. The meaning of life
Well,
has to
this
involve
meaning of
suffering.
life. Well, this
No, I
one,
mean,
because that's how we know it, but it doesn't have to be that way.
any meaning in life would be erased without suffering. There's no way to enjoy life without suffering. You have to have suffering in order to have joy, right? The one doesn't exist without the other. So if you're like, well, we could just erase suffering and just have joy, no, you can't. This is why in Eastern religions they have the yin and yang, right? This is why in the Eastern religions it's all about balance and asymmetry, and the difference between symmetry and asymmetry. You know, you always want to have a little bit more joy than suffering, right? And you want to reach that balance so that you can have more peace, because that's really the goal, right? And this is why you have meditation practices to think about suffering and accept it for what it is, which is just part of life, and it's what gives a rich tapestry to your life.
I think it's called the problem of evil, right? Like, why does evil exist if God is good or all good, right? And because evil or suffering, right, they're kind of two sides of the same coin, essentially. It's just
I don't
kind of
think
weird
so.
to me
Like,
that
I don't think
people,
so. I don't.
yeah,
I always push back on that. I don't think that evil is suffering. I think suffering is not evil. We need suffering. We've talked about this before, like when you can't get something. If you were going to save up for, like go back to my first example. If I want to live a creative life and I have to go through the hardship of building a YouTube channel and living like that and living skinned, like I have no money and I'm borrowing money from people and I'm begging for money on the internet, but my goal is this other thing. When I get there, if I get there, all that suffering is what will make that win so monumental. If I didn't suffer for it, it wouldn't have any meaning.
but
So
Sky,
suffering is not evil.
But Sky, you get there, right? You get to that
Yeah.
position where you have that deep meaning and this deep accomplishment, and the suffering was all
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah.
But what if you could get there without the suffering? Is my point. Like, that's just the only way we can comprehend,
Well,
because
we know what
that's
that's
how we're
like.
built.
We already know what that's like. Some people play video games with cheat codes. It's not as rewarding when you win. Like, I was playing Pragmata streaming. I'm streaming gaming at night now. Everyone should watch my gaming stuff at night. It's really fun. And people were like, just look up how to beat this boss. And I was like, no, I'm not going to look up how to beat the boss, because I have to win it on my own in order to enjoy it. You see? And we also see how billionaires are and why I hate billionaires, and because of their fucking smugness and their bullshit. And they love the narrative that, oh, I did this on my own, that other people give them because they know they couldn't imagine playing with cheat codes. But Bezos, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they all play with cheat codes.
But
And
Sky,
they don't appreciate it, and they're evil because of it.
but you're starting on the premise that we are how we are. And what I'm asking you is, why should we be? Like, for instance, you know, we have to work out to be healthy, right? Like, we know that.
Yeah, and it hurts sometimes.
What? Yeah, and it hurts sometimes. Why would we have to do that, and why would it hurt? Why wouldn't it be that, like you see, like it just feels like it's a broken system. Like, why wouldn't it be neutral and positive? And when it becomes positive, it still gives us that huge accomplishment and everything, like that feeling that we get, but without all of the suffering behind it.
If I'm arguing from the position of a believer in God, I would say that because God wants you to enjoy your life and the fruits of your labor. If you are working for something and you enjoy, if you enjoy the work, that's great. But sometimes even the work you enjoy could be causing you suffering. I think everyone's experienced that too. Even the work you love can make you suffer. But then when you get it, when you reach your goal and you accomplish something, you're elated, and that elation is something that you have to earn. And so if God is making a system of this reward system and how people are going to enjoy their life and how they're going to learn lessons, that's exactly a system that you would build. Like, religion is a way to explain that, right? Religion is a way to explain why does stuff hurt? Why does stuff feel good?
But that's just the nature of our biology, right? Which I'm trying to challenge. The nature of our biology is that, we release endorphins, we release all of these happiness hormones, in a I don't know, how should I put this, uh, in a manner, right? Like, we have our brain releases it. We have a part that releases it. We have a part that slows it down so it doesn't release too much, right? We have this balance in our biology, but what if we don't need that? Like, what if we were made in a way that we wouldn't need a balance? What if we just had continuous orgasms all day long? Why would that be wrong? If we could enjoy, if we couldn't,
because that would be torture. That's why. Because that would be fucking
it would
torture.
be torture to us, Sky. It would be torture to us with our current biology. But what if our biology were in a way where it wouldn't be torturous?
Because that would be antithetical to biology. You would never evolve without the presence of suffering. You don't evolve. The gazelle runs from the lion and lives another day to have babies.
Why would we need to evolve?
And so the next generation is a faster. So you evolve. Why would you need to evolve? I don't know, because that's what life is. You said biology. That's what life is evolution. Hold on a second. Suffering that is completely unnecessary and burdensome that everybody has this in their life, from the corporations they work for on their bills they have to pay. Edward Thornton, that's exactly why we need revolution, because it's antithetical to our existence to cause unwanted suffering. Absolutely, and we're letting them do it to us. That's why revolutions happen. It's why we need one now. Joyous 777 says, no, that's wrong. That's not in the Bible. I think you're talking about, yes, it is. Judge the tree by the fruits it bears. That is, it's in works. There's tons of stuff in the Bible about judging ones by their labor and the fruits of their labor. It's something that was paraphrased in Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, didn't Jesus Christ walk by a fig tree, and because it didn't have any figs, it smite the tree down or something like that?
I don't remember that, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, there's a story like that in the Bible. It's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of crazy stories in the Bible, but anyway, I'm not boring. I have signs of God. Yeah. I know I'm right. I'm Twisted Hippie. Thank you so much. Yep, absolutely. Buddha says that pain is to teach us sympathy, and also peace. Right? Pain is something that we need to accept as part of our life. Buddha also talks about how doing a job, because doing work, without having an eye on the path, without having an eye on the goal, and having both eyes on the path itself. This is something that Taoism really leans heavily into. The idea of doing work for work's sake, it brings you closer to enlightenment. This is something we see in across religions, trying to make sense of toiling, right? So I guess I don't... This idea that we would somehow, in this hypothetical Star Trek world where everyone is just like, there's actually a Star Trek episode like this where there's a being, a building. It's a building that provides everything for these people. They're basically humans, and they live forever, and they never die. No one ever dies. Everyone's super healthy, and all they do is hang out and have sex, and That's all they have, but they never grow. Nothing ever happens. They never change. They never have anything.
You probably wouldn't. Yeah, that's true. It's true. It wouldn't lead to any form of growth or change.
So it's a nice prison, is basically. And so,
but why is it a nice prison, or is it just like do you,
well, it's a prison. It's some kind of prison.
Is it? Do you think that freedom comes from necessity to survive, to seek happiness?
Yeah, of course. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Yeah, I mean, these are Enlightenment thinking, like that liberty, your freedom of self-determination. Self-determination, I think, is maybe paramount, right? And this is why you get into free will talks every time you talk about religion, like what is free will and and you just can walk. Then you got to run around in circles about what free will is and whether or not God knows the future and shit like that. But yeah, of course I do. Yeah, don't you?
I don't know. I don't believe in free will. I think I mentioned that before. So.
Oh yeah, I know. You think that everything is planned. I guess that everything is.
No, it's just some form of self-determinism. I believe that maybe you have some form of free will or something. Like maybe you're capable of free will, but I don't think you exercise free will.
In my 80 plus years that I'll be allowed on this planet, I get to choose. I know that we're all gonna die. So this idea that I'm on a rock speeding away from whatever caused the Big Bang, circling around a sun, all of that is predetermined, right? I have no control over it. But the way I spend these 80 years are up to me, and that's free will. Now, we could talk about like the cosmic, everyone always wants to zoom out and talk about the cosmic realities, and it doesn't, and again, it's one of those things that doesn't matter, and that's not what religion seeks to answer. Religion does not seek to answer because they don't know that the sun and that the sun doesn't go around the earth. They don't know that yet. So what religion, except for a Baha'i faith, right? Baha'i faith came out in 1860 something. So there's some new religions that knew that, but most of the old religions had no idea what the fuck was going on, right? So they were trying to answer the questions of why do I hurt? Why do I miss someone I love? If there's a plan, why am I crying so much? Why do I have to work for an asshole? Why do I have to like how do I navigate the world my 80 years if I'm lucky? How do I navigate this?
Yeah, you're right about that. That's at some point, I guess. I tend to think that religion was more of a. It took these answers and manipulated people with these answers. It changed them ever so slightly, and
the church did.
The church did. Yeah,
Erika Kirk did. Donald Trump did. Yes. That's where I'm going with this. They take this kind of a beautiful thing that was trying to explain the way we navigate the world and give it meaning, and they used it to fuck us and to take stuff from us. And they'll wear whatever, they'll wear the hijab or they'll wear the cross because it doesn't matter to them. The powerful don't care about crosses and hijabs. The poor people do. Sky, can you choose? Huh?
Go on. So,
Sky, can you choose not to worry about your kids? I think you could choose to accept who your children are. I think you could choose to accept them. Yes, in a way, sort of. I don't know what that's a kind of a broad question, Ray, but I think yes. I think that you can choose to accept your children for who they are. I think that's what you're talking about. I'm not really sure, but I like the question. I like where your head's at. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, everybody. Chip, why are you laughing?
Because there was a person here who said like Europeans are godless, just like Chip. But in fact, I think Romania, as the country that I actually come from, is pretty freaking godful.
Super religious.
Like you throw a rock and you hit the church. That type of situation. It's full of churches.
Yeah, it's funny. Smoking Blondie's talking about religion was about not being alone. I don't know. It's about not being alone. It's the feeling that human beings don't feel alone. Human beings will invent imaginary friends. There's this third man phenomenon too, where people will like see a person in times of crisis. They'll see another person there helping them along. Like there's crazy shit that happen in our brains. They call it like the halo lights, right, in your head, where they can zoom in on your head and see that prayer and meditation and belief in God, these things light up in your brain. So it seems like we're kind of pre-wired for that, but also what we're really pre-wired for is looking in the mirror, seeing us, like understanding who we are and understanding that I know Chip is like me, but also not me. Like that's pretty profound shit that a lot of animals can't do. I mean, chimpanzees can't even know where chimpanzees don't understand when I point at something, but a dog does. So different animals have different levels of these things, but absolutely, I think that's what dreams are, isn't it? God wants you to like and subscribe. Thank you, Twisted Hippie. God wants you to like and subscribe, everybody. But Chip, so you a believer now? Chip believes in God now, everybody. Thank you. Sky, you know God. I do. I went to religious schools. I thought about religion a lot. I've taken theology courses. I've read lots of books about it, guys, and it's a whole thing. Well, social animals can die from loneliness. Exactly. I'm smoking bonding. That's exactly it. Yeah, exactly. We can die from loneliness. So we better not get lonely. We better not get too lonely. By the way, the number one way to not get dementia, the number one way over all the others, over diet and exercise, is socialization. Talking to people. Like, it is really scary that people are doing people are, you with me?
That's why I went to Berlin. Yeah, that's why I went to Berlin, man. By the way, I have maybe like 5 minutes because then the train ends. That's why I went to Berlin, man. And there's some people in Berlin that, they're friends and stuff, just like you know. And when I meet them in person and I spend time with them, it's like my anxiety goes away when I'm next to them. It's a special feeling. It's
absolutely, bro. And that's one of the reasons why I love where I live, but I feel completely separated from people, and I don't think I can live here anymore. People keep on asking me, don't leave California, but it's like, I'm going to leave. I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave. I'm pretty sure I'm leaving.
Come to Europe. Come on the dark side. Yes.
Come to Europe where you can't work anyway. Can you imagine me in Europe?
Bro, that would be cool. That would be really cool. You'd speak German. What the hell are you doing, man? You should be in Germany.
I love Germany, but where would I live in Germany?
Hanover? Didn't you say Hanover? I just found a train that's cheap and passes through Hanover. I mean the train
Hanover.
that passed through Hanover.
Hanover is beautiful. I love Hanover, but it's also gray, and I do not want to live in another gray place for the rest of my life.
You mean like the weather?
Yeah, I cannot fucking go outside and see gray skies half the year.
Sky, I'm sorry, but the latest years, it's been so hot. It was 28 degrees when I got to Berlin, man. It was really hot.
Berlin's always kind of hot, though. They're not like situated in a place that's kind of like, it's always fucking hot in Berlin in the summertime.
But it's not summer. That's the thing. It was really hot, and it wasn't summer.
Well, it's May, right? It's late spring already. It's almost summer. But I cannot live in a place with 6 months of gray. Florida man's perfect. Yeah, let's move to Florida. Yeah, no. I spent months in Florida. I love Florida. Nothing wrong with Florida. There is a lot wrong with Florida. I don't want to live in Florida for sure.
I'm gonna go because you got another donation and I have to go soon. I just want to say to everyone, if you're not subscribing and you're not donating to Sky, then your religion is weak. Your faith is weak, and if you don't have any faith or religion, then God exists. So somehow, if you don't donate to Sky, God exists. That's it.
That's it. Thank you for that. All right. Thank you, everybody. Oh, south of France is nice. Yes, it is. Please leave. California? Okay. I'll be out of your herding minute now. Thank you, Chip, for joining. Hey, Veg in the Woods. Thank you so much, Veg in the Woods. Thank you so much, Veg in the Woods. I really appreciate you. You're incredible. Thank you so much for donating to independent media. Costa Rica and a van. Costa Rica sounds pretty good. But I want to do YouTube. I want to be creative. I want to be around creative people. A van also seems kind of isolating, to be honest with you. I love the idea. I did almost a year of van life, man. And it's hard. You end up spending a lot of time alone is the problem. I want Sweden husband wants Italy. Italy's cheaper. I have a friend, my godmother lives in Italy. She lives in Lugano, I want to say. I think she's in Lugano. And it's this little town, and she's so happy there. She's an old lady, man. She's having a grand old time, man. She's looking good, feeling good out there. She's going to live forever, man. She's going to outlive me out there in Italy. It's crazy. But, a child who suffers for their entire short life learned a deep truth. What that life is just suffering. Wow, they're probably way better off in a possible afterlife now if one exists. I mean, that's trying to make sense of things, saying, okay, they must make sense in the afterlife. Horrible things happen. Does that make life not what? I don't know what you're trying to say, Parallelish. Like, what does that mean to you? That, yes, some babies are born still. Some babies are born and take their first breath, and their breath causes them a great deal of pain, and they die. Some little babies are born with their brains outside their bodies or their livers outside their bodies. These things happen. Does that mean that life isn't worth living? That the absurdity of our existence should cease? What should we do? Not all suffering is needed for important or can be learned from or beneficial. That's true. Some suffering is needless and sad. Totally true. Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking about Kokomo. Kokomo, you can get there fast and take it slow. You could do it. Your hunter's from Delisa. Nice. Does he speak Italian? Sky, if I had $1 million, owe him now. OMG, so many friends. Well, I might never have $1 million, but I'm hoping that I can live. It's funny. This is so personal, but I'll tell you since no one's on the line. Call me. First, let me make my pitch. Hey, Erika Kirk is donning a hijab, everybody. Please call morningsky.live/PYB. Talk to me about religion if you'd like. Today's the religion day, apparently. Barcelona. I do speak Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. I do speak Spanish, but I don't speak Spanish. By the way, I'd rather live in Mexico than Barcelona. Hot take, I'd rather live in Jalapa. I've always wanted to go to Jalapa and eat jalapenos. I've always wanted to eat a jalapeno in Jalapa. I've always wanted to do that. Sorry, I'm projecting New Mexico, but New Mexico are brothers! Thank you, Veg of the Woods! Thank you so much, Veg in the Wood. You're amazing. Thank you. Way down in Kokomo. All right, so I was going to tell you a personal story. Personal story is this. Before my mom died, she was thinking about selling her house and moving to, she wanted to retire, but she wasn't old enough to retire yet. She wanted to retire and move to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I thought, man, I've always wanted to go to Taos, New Mexico. And I read my mom's journal when she died, and I saw her writing about that. She was worrying about the future. She didn't know what she wanted to do, She's just writing, like, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, maybe I can just live cheap and make double payments on my house and then pay it off, and then I can retire in California. She was talking like that, right? And she really wanted to go to Santa Fe. She loved Santa Fe. And I've always loved Santa Fe and Taos and New Mexico. I never really thought about Albuquerque, but I've always thought about Santa Fe as being a really cool spot. And, well, my mom was writing about it, and then so when she died, I needed an escape. I needed to get out of town. So I decided to go to Taos and hang out in Taos for a little while. And hard to copy the link to call. Just dial in morningsky.live/PYB. Just type in. That's why I made the URL so easy. morningsky.live/PYB. Pick your battles. PYB. morningsky.live/PYB. So I went to Taos and I stayed in this RV out there. There was like an Airbnb, and they had not an Air, it was like an Airbnb. I think it was an Airbnb, and it had a geodesic dome. I've always loved our Buckminster Fuller and the geodesic dome. They had a geodesic dome that was like a yoga dome out there. It was so cool, and I really needed it. I meditated every day, and I thought about my mom, and I looked out on the Rio Grande Gorge. It's so gorgeous out there, man. I just explored the town a little bit. Went out to the Pueblo. It's the longest continuously inhabited place in America is the Pueblos, and the Pueblo Indians still live there. It's, you've seen it. They're like mud. They're made out of, they're like adobe buildings that are like thousands of years old. It's insane. And I went there and I saw that, and I was like, man, someday maybe I'll move to New Mexico. I don't know. Life is so crazy. Life is so crazy. And I was so sad, And then I went back to work and I lost my job and I was upset, but they gave me a bunch of severance. They gave me a huge severance package. So I was like, that's good. Give me like 3-4 months to worry about it. I started my YouTube channel and I was working on my YouTube channel and I just wanted to just do activism and work for the animals and stuff. So I got a job with PETA. And I just kept thinking, man, I just need to, I just need to make enough money to live, and I could just make enough money to live, and I'll just do that. Just try to make ends meet, just scrape by, and I did. I just scraped by and scraped by and scraped by and scraped by for almost 5 years, and I think now this last year everything's more expensive, and now it's like it's getting harder and harder to scrape by this year, and I keep on getting hit. Right, I keep on getting hit by like taxes and these things that there's like these surprise things that keep on coming up where people show up and they're like, oh, you owe us $1,000. Oh, I do? Great. Fuck. Those types of things keep happening. And someone told me what my house might be worth. And I thought, fuck, I don't think that's true. Whatever. Stop thinking about it. I'm just going to stick it out, scrape it out, scrape it out, scrape it out. And then my girlfriend leaves. And I say, fuck, what am I doing here? Why am I struggling so hard? Why am I working so hard? It's been a good run. It's been a good run. So why not sell out and move to New Mexico? That was my mom's plan. She didn't think of Albuquerque, and neither did I. So what I did, I started thinking about, well, let's forget about New Mexico. I didn't even think of it. I was like, you know what? I put into AI. I said, where should I move? I live here. I got great weather. My house is worth more. This is what I think it's worth. I need to sell my house here and buy a house somewhere else in cash so that I can live a creative life where people are around, where community exists, and there's people walking around, and you can meet people and bump into people at cafes and stuff like that. And the number one result, it gave me like 5 or 6 results, but the number one result was the Nob Hill neighborhood of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And I was like, what the fuck? Never heard of it. I never heard of Nob Hill Creek of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Never, Nob Hill, not Creek, Nob Hill neighborhood of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Never heard of it. He got severance, nice. And so I'm like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should finally do it. Maybe Nob Hill, Albuquerque, New Mexico is the way to go. Maybe that's where I need to be, where I can live a creative life, one that I've always wanted to live, and not have to work for some motherfucker. And I'll have a nice house with nice weather. That was the big thing, weather, right? Weather's so hard because I live in Orange County, California. It's got the best fucking weather in the world. Like, it's got the best weather here. I never turn on the AC, never turn on the heater, ever. You saved cash. I gave it away Oprah style. I tried to save it, but I mean, it just kept going. Mom in Somalia, I didn't say since 9. She got even 11,000 USD. Nice. You're in Lafayette. Smoking Blondie. What do you think, Smoking Blondie? Should I go? Should I go? He builds boutique pedals and amps. That's so cool. Pedals. These apparitions of faces on a metro, pedals on a wet black bow. I opened Felties on Underwood back in 14. Nice. You think I should go? You're with me? You think, Smoking Blondie, you think I should go? Yeah, I think so too. I'm feeling energized right now, you know. I feel like I'm coming out of depression. I'm coming back out. And there's a piece of me that's so sad that I'll leave so much of my mother, my poor dead mom, I'm going to leave here. I'll take everything here. But also, if I live in New Mexico, I'll be thinking about her, you know? I'll be like, man, my mom always wanted to do this. You know? Do it exciting, makes sense, just need internet. Exactly, and honest. Damn it, Honest Dowder. You know me, Honest Dowder. I think you're right. Thank you so much, Honest Dowder. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate that. Take a break and come here first, says Chip. Well, here's the other thing, Chip. If I sell and I live in New Mexico, I could travel, because right now I have no fucking money. But if I sold my house and bought a house there, I would have money now. A lot more money. I would have money. I could have liquid money to buy stuff. I wouldn't be worried about every fucking beer I drink, or like, oh, I don't know, I better not buy anything this week. I'm just going to eat rice and beans all week. Like, that's literally where I'm at right now. I'm like soaking garbanzo beans and making hummus. And I'm like, this is going to be hummus all week, folks. I'm just eating hummus all week. That's how life is right now for me. That's how life is. I plan my meals so fucking strictly because I'm so broke right now. Because I'm drinking Nescafe that's an old bottle that my ex-girlfriend's father left here. That's what I'm drinking. Because I can't afford fucking coffee right now. Because coffee is double the price. So I'm drinking this because I don't want to waste money on coffee. I'm going to put off my coffee expense. I'm not going to buy coffee for as long as this little bottle of Nescafe stays, you know? It's embarrassing, but this is the life I have to lead. This is my life now. Honest Doubter. My life is filled with horrors and loss. Sky, it's the answer. Yeah, but a break may give you some clarity. That Chip guy, I would do that, but I don't have the liquid money to buy a plane. Once I sell the house, I will have money to travel. I'll buy a house in New Mexico. I'll move all my shit there. I'll have a good day. Maybe I'll figure something out. I'm thinking about, like, here's what's so fucking crazy right now. If I really do things correctly, if everything works out for old Skyjack here, and I'm very, very lucky, if I'm lucky, a little bit of luck, god damn it, because some luck's got to be coming my way, right? I gotta have a little luck left in the tank. So if I get a little luck, I could sell my house here and buy 2 houses there and rent one out, and then spend that money. And then I'll use that money to go visit you in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? That simple. Do it, Sky. My content will be better. You think my content will be better in New Mexico? You sometimes need to get away from the problem to be able to solve it. Yeah. How many friends you leaving behind? If not more than 7, then do it. I have no friends that live within 50 miles of me. I have my book clubs. I'll miss my book clubs, but they got fucking book clubs in New Mexico. You know what I mean? They got book clubs in New Mexico. But I have no friends, like real friends. I don't have any within 50 miles. The closest friends I have, like my close friends, are 50, they're in LA, 50 miles away. And I'm not moving to LA. I'm not going to move to LA. That ain't going to happen. It's your mom taking care of you one more time. That's what it feels like, too. My mom, because that's all she ever said. She said, I'm putting all my money into this house. When I die, take the house. Live your life. Be a writer. That's what she said. Buy the house and be a writer. Yeah. Fuck out of here with the stress. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, Sayard. Thank you. Sayard, when I'm in Amsterdam, will you visit me? Hold on. I don't know. I was trying to do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. I couldn't remember how it goes. Sorry, Mozart. A little Mozart for you. A little Mozart, little bastardized Mozart for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hopefully Indiana isn't the only one freezing gas taxes. You will soon be rich on Melania coin to the moon. Well, once I buy, yes. Well, when I'm going to sell my house and buy Melania coin. Yeah, it seems like the logical to move. Yeah, it does, right? Logic. I also asked my neighbor, because I was like, what about my fish, man? I can't bring my fish with me. I can't bring my fish. What'll I do? So I texted my neighbor and I said, if I move, will you take my fish? And she said, yes. Sounds pretty good, right? Don't rent, you will hate it. Someone said Albuquerque is quite liberal area in New Mexico. If you've always wanted to go to New Mexico, that's not a bad place for you to land. Thank you, Edward Thornton. It's not about liberal. I guess liberal. Fuck, what does liberal mean anymore? I don't like liberals, but I do like there's small businesses, lots of small businesses in Albuquerque. It seems to be thriving, and there's a university, and so there's young people doing shit. Like there's Shakespeare plays and poetry readings and bands playing. There's live music. Usually if there's a university in a town, there's usually some shit happening if they're active, and they seem to be. And I like that. I like that. Plus, someone was talking about rentals. In New Mexico, if you can rent out to somebody in like a professor. There's a lot of professors that need rentals, and they pay for their rentals through summer too. So a lot of visiting professors will rent out properties, and so it's a high demand rental with low impact. So I'm hoping to get in on that shit. That's what I'm thinking. And also Melania coin, and also more Melania coin. Yes, yes. All the liquid that I have left over will go into Melania coin. Yeah. All the Turning Point freaks are MAGA afterbirth. Yeah, and they don't believe. Now they're wearing hijabs, so it's great. Performers know how to read a room. Kirk's entertainment background is an asset here, not a liability. Professional performers are trained to read audience energy, adjust register, and find the emotional frequency that generates the strongest response. That's what she's into. That's why she's like... Have you seen the video of her like breathing into the microphone, like staring at the camera? What's that all about? A room that used to want the cross now wants a different symbol. They want a hijab. The skill set transfers. The belief never had to be there to begin with. You don't have... If you read the room, one day the room wants a cross. The next day it wants a hijab. Neil Young wrote a great song about Albuquerque. Ooh, what? What? Fish can travel. Fish can travel, but my fish are very old. And I don't want my fish to travel to New Mexico. I don't think it's possible. I took fish from Las Vegas and I brought them to California, and some of them died, and I was very, very sad about it. And I don't want these guys to die. So Albuquerque. I didn't know that Neil Young had an Albuquerque song. I want to see. Rental's very risky. Well, they sometimes are. Sometimes rentals are very, very risky. Risky, very risky. Well, I haven't decided on the rental thing yet, man. I'm just like, that's just pipe dream stuff. I haven't decided on that yet. I'm just thinking about leaving here and moving there. And I might have to take like a week off to do it, right? How do I show the house if I have this room like this, you know, like a little studio room. Can I leave it like this and people can come in and see that I live? That makes sense. Fuck them, you know. I think that makes sense. Albuquerque. Well, do some acoustic gigs with your music, Skyjack. I'll bet money there's some bars around the university that would have you come and sing. I've thought about doing that here too, doing a little acoustic set somewhere. I really like to sing, and that would be kind of fun. I thought about it. Endless dreams when I'm crying and broken. I'm sorry. Then sail and buy coffee. Yes, buy coffee. That's what I'm going to do. Sell and buy coffee. Don't poison Sky's thoughts. Exactly. Coffee shops have acoustic set. You can do acoustic sets in coffee shops. Or how about this? Live in a place where they have porches and play on my porch. You know, I don't even have a porch where I live. I don't even have a porch. Austin? No, I don't want to live in Texas. I'm thinking New Mexico, baby. New Mexico. You could live in Romania like a king with a hot girl by your side, too, and pretty good weather. No, that sounds like Andrew Tate. I don't want that. No, thank you. Doesn't Andrew Tate live in Romania? No. By the way, there are beautiful women all over the world. It doesn't matter where you live. There are beautiful women everywhere. Everywhere you go, there they are. Don't worry about that. Everywhere you go, there's beautiful women. But the problem is you can't meet them everywhere because some places, they're all locked up in their houses, like in Orange County. There's plenty of beautiful women, but they're either at the shopping market, they're at the shopping place, they're at the Irvine Spectrum shopping, or they're locked up in their house. Mm-hmm. Women are everywhere. That's true. Women literally are everywhere. You'll be happier. I can tell that's what you're looking for. I'm hoping that's right. Last year I was so broken. My grandma visited me. Dream symbolism. White clothing. Called me by name and asked, "Why are you crying, my sweetie?" Hugged me and fed me sweets. She looked like 34 years old. What? It's crazy. That's amazing. They're not out looking through a window, you know. Yeah, it's true. People do need sun. Yeah, that's true. They do need sun. But I mean, I'm telling you, if you don't have a place where you can meet people, then you don't have community. And that's very difficult. Vegan open mic poetry comedy with a theremin. I love that, with a theremin even. Thank you so much, Veg in the Woods. I appreciate you for helping me out this week. Thank you so much. I'm trying to make ends meet over here. I gotta sell this house before they can foreclose on me. Have to foreclose on me pretty soon. Thank you. Perimenopause makes a lot of hot women. Women hot. Sounds like you're going to send your money. What happened to me when I was younger, but I was a gay guy in a white van? What are you talking about? Crazy. I appreciate it. Community maxing. That's what I want. I'm community say hard. Yawn. Yes. Community maxing. I want to live in a place where I walk to the supermarket. You know? I just want to live in a place where I walk to the supermarket and there's other people walking to the supermarket. When I lived in South Berkeley, right on the border of Oakland, and I walked to Safeway, got fucking groceries, and then got on a bus and went it like 3 blocks because now I'm burdened, right? I got on a bus and went up the street, and then I was home, and I had groceries. It was great. Loved it. And then sometimes I would just walk into the bar at night. And on my days off, I would just walk to cafes and read my books and talk to people, run into people. Because when you do that stuff a lot, the same people see you at like the coffee shop. They're like, "Hey, so-and-so. Hey, how you doing, so-and-so? Hey." And they're like, "Hey, you know what? Are you single? I have a sister that wants to meet a guy like you." "Oh, you do?" That's how that works. That's why community is so important, you see. That's why it's so important. We drive now. Yeah, we bicycle. Chicks dig intelligent, well-spoken, kind men. They often do. Not all of them, but enough of them do. I mean, I know people say that I'm playing on cheat codes because I'm so tall, handsome, and I'm so tall, well-spoken, well-read, well-cultured, well-traveled, and so goddamn good-looking. I must be playing life with cheat codes, but you gotta have a place where you can express that. I can't do that where I'm at, man. Can I tell you? I went to the book club yesterday. And I showed up, and they're like, "Oh, we were just talking about you." And I said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh, just how you had like the crazy life. You've done all these things. We were talking about it." "Oh, cool." And then she's like, and then later on, we do the book club, and this lady who's been doing the book club for like 10 years or something, she's walking by. She goes, "It's really good having you in this book club. I just wanted to let you know that." I'm like, "Well, it's great to be had, Anne." Anne's like 65, right? I don't know how old she is. She's older. She's like 60 something. "Thanks, Anne. That's so nice." She goes, "Everyone, the way you talk about books, the way you talk about the structure of the book, and you bring up stuff that no one else is bringing up, and it's so great to have you in this book club." Why does Anne appreciate me? But no one else. Like, you see what I mean? You need community in order to have those types of moments. If I didn't show up to a fucking book club, I wouldn't have had that. She filled my soul. She helped me fill up my soul. You know? And the worker, there's a person that works at Barnes and Noble. She's like, "Did you read the horror book for this month? I can't wait to talk with you about it. See what you think about it." I'm like, "I haven't started yet. It's still in 2 weeks. I haven't started it yet." Like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait for you to tell me what you think about this book." What? Captain Save-A-Ho? Me? I'm something wrong. Am I Captain Save-A-Ho? I'm not Captain Save-A-Ho. We need help with our egos. Why don't you call in? What do you mean I'm Captain Save-A-Ho? I ain't Captain Save-A-Ho. I ain't Captain. You walk to the pond and talk to the ducks. Yeah, that's what we do. Sexy AF Skyjack. Thank you, Nurse Rod. I look familiar. Thank you. I got one of those faces, I suppose. A lot of men try to look like me, so it makes sense I look familiar. A lot of guys try to pay a lot of money to look like me, so the woman loves Sky. I always wanted to live in Taos and build my own Earthship and be part of a community commune. Yikes, dirty word. Dude, that's what I was thinking too, yeah. Smoking Blondie's in the house. What up, Smoking Blondie?
Hey.
Captain Save-A-Ho, what the heck?
What I was saying was, people our age who are just getting out of a long-term relationship or a marriage or whatever, there's either something wrong with us, like mental health illnesses, or we're Captain Save-A-Hos, where we have taken care of our partner for a long time and finally got fed up at a certain point and cut them off or moved on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess. I think about this a lot, right? Like, well, why am I alone after all these years? And then I think, well, because I'm not like everybody else. I'm never going to be like everybody else. And the thing, too, is that, like, I was married. I was married for 6 years. I was with a woman. My last relationship was 7 years. These aren't short relationships,
No, they're not.
And it's not because I was Captain Save-A-Ho, but the marriage didn't work out. Mostly, I think, because of her parents. I made a bad decision there. But we didn't have kids, so we didn't. If we had had kids, we might have stuck it out. You know what I mean? We might have stayed, even though we shouldn't have.
Her parents were so toxic that you ended a marriage over it?
Yeah, or she kind of did. We kind of, yeah, she more than me, but it was pretty mutual. But yes. It didn't end well, and afterwards, her family like attacked me and stole. They broke into my house and took all my shit, and like it was crazy. And like there was no cheating, there was nothing to warrant this like crazy breakup. But she was pretty abusive, but her family was like the most toxic. They're cattle ranchers and like thought that they were like owned their kids, and now she like works for her mom, and like all their kids work for them. Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's not healthy at all.
All their kids, and they have 3 children, and they all work for the parents.
Of course they do.
Yeah, that's something wrong.
Those kids are
right?
going to lose it when mommy and daddy are dead. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they'll inherit and they'll just argue, and I don't know. Maybe they're already
No,
dead at this point.
they
I don't
don't.
know.
They won't know how to. They won't know how to live.
No, they won't. They will not.
That's
So like,
crazy.
so I mean, that was a mistake, I guess. But you know what? I don't really believe in total mistakes, right? I learned a lot, and then I moved to Vegas, and I had a life, and I had a long-term girlfriend there, and we broke up, and I moved to Orange County and lived here. I've had these great loves and everything, but sometimes you get
Why?
attracted to
Why'd
people
they
that are,
end?
huh?
Why'd they end? Because you've been in long-term relationships that were as long as your marriage, um,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
not married them. I mean, I don't believe in marriage, so
yeah.
I
It's not.
understand that part.
It's not about not believing in it. It's like once you get divorced, and I was treated so poorly that now I want to make absolute fucking sure before I go down that road again. Like I paid off her student loans and not mine, because we
So
thought that.
you are a saver.
No, I'm not a saver. We talked about it. It was like, okay, well, yours are smaller. Let's pay off your student loans, and then we'll work on mine, and like do like a David Ramsey, like build the,
Hmm.
pay off the. But hers came first, of course, and I got screwed. But it wasn't
Was
about
that
saving her.
was that compensated in the divorce?
No, no, no. I wasn't even confiscated by. I wasn't even compensated for the business that we shared. We owned business together, and I didn't even get compensated for that because at the end I was just like, you know what? I want this to be over as quickly as possible. Go die. I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with this family. You guys are so fucking toxic. I just want away.
That's what
And so,
narcissistic parenting is about, is wearing you down until you just want out. You want to
yeah.
run, cut loose of everything. Uh,
Yeah, and I realized that at some point you've got to realize how much time on Earth you have left. And I was
yes.
at that point, I think I was 35 or something, and I was going, or 36, 37 even. I forget how old I was, 36 maybe. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to spend 5 years fighting this. I don't want to spend another year fighting. I don't want to spend a minute fighting this. So it's time to quit. Let's call it. And so I let it go. But it's not about like having. That's the thing. And then I've had other relationships, and I've had ones that like fizzled, and ones that sparked, and ones that were huge that failed immediately. All sorts of stuff. I've lost people. People die. I have all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff. People have. Like one of my close friends, she was my mom's business partner, and she was younger than my mom. She's like between me and my mom's age, and she's had two long-term lovers die,
Wow.
and now she's alone. And it's not her fault. It's not because
No.
she's
No.
Captain Save a
Nope.
Ho.
No, but
She
there's
just
lots of people who have a personality like yours that do want to save people. It's just a term that we say around here,
yeah,
Captain
I
Save a
know.
Ho. Um,
I've
they
heard it
they
before.
they want to be helpful. They want to save that person. They want to be the hero. And a lot of times it leads to a narcissistic person latching on to you because you're the type of person they're looking for. I know because
Yeah.
I'm a Captain Save a Ho. I know.
It's funny you say that. I think that I definitely am a protective person, so I want to not save the person, but once they're mine or with me, I don't want them to like be injured any further, I guess. And so I'm there for them. I also like understand the long game. I understand that you have to accept people's foibles, but that's the problem. You're totally right. If you're a person who's accepting of people as like, and you don't want to control them, then narcissists will try to control you. And I have come across that. Like, I'm always trying to make sure that people are not controlled by me, but that means that they try to control me. And sometimes and sometimes, I think about that a lot with the ex my latest ex, how I do feel used because of certain things, especially in the last year or so. But, I wasn't always like that. And I'm glad it's over in some ways. I'm still heartbroken. It's tragedy for me. But now look at me. I'm 2 months later. Actually, I'm not even 2 months later. On May 24th, 2 months later, I will be really I'm thinking I'll be taking a trip to New Mexico to see if I can look at houses. You know, not making a solid decision yet, but in a couple weeks I want to go to New Mexico and see what's what.
That's my husband and I's anniversary, where he came to stay the weekend and didn't leave 23 years ago. That's crazy. It's the same date.
I love that. I love that. Hey, you know what? There's synchronicity out there. There's synchronicity out there. What does Erika Kirk don hijab means? It means that the cross meant nothing to her, and neither does the hijab. She is putting on symbols of religion in order to achieve power and make money. That's what that means. Do you believe in the power of Erika Kirk? But Smokin', I think that, I'm really... of course, the other thing is, as you grow as a person and have a few relationships behind you, you start, thinking about how you're going to get the next one right, And
I don't know. I've been a professional long-term relationship my first one was 14 to 24, and the next one was my husband till in my late 40s still. So I've only been in 2 relationships, so I don't.
Oh, wow. Not me. I guess I'm pretty easygoing. So if somebody's cute and nice to me, I'll let them stick around a while, and sometimes I let them stick around too long. And sometimes I'm like, no. And then right, what happens is I let them stick around, and right when I start letting my guard down and I'm like, I love this person and I want to do stuff. I want to be with this person, and I'm going to put them in a position where they can hurt me now. And as soon as I do that, guess what they do? If you put people in a position to hurt you, guess what they're going to do? They'll do it.
But we've talked about this, about putting our expectations for ourselves on other people sets them up for failure every single time.
You're right.
I've dated people in between long-term relationships, and my husband and I have split up a couple times. And there was no one out there that I could even really hold a conversation with, which was a real letdown. And
that's a thing though too, right? If you find someone who's cute and nice and you could talk to, doesn't bore you, I'll stick it out for a while, see if it'll work out. I might not be in love on the 3rd date or anything, but I'll stick it out. Wait, you can talk?
20 years?
Maybe. That's where I think people should enjoy the friend zone, Enjoy talking, enjoy having a conversation with a cute person. It's funny, I was talking to this lady in Beverly Hills. I guess she lives in Inglewood, but we were talking and I thought she was cute, she was different than other girls I've dated, but I was like, I don't care. I don't even care if we end up doing anything. I just like hanging out with this person, and I don't need to do anything like that, Sky, who did you marry? A devil creature from Virginia. A devil creature from Virginia. A devilish human being that I have no mercy or love for. And her evil family. I really think it was her family more than anything. And also I feel like she kind of wanted to be like this punk rock girl who was a rebel to her family in her late 20s and was just trying to be like a rebel. And so, of course, she gets with the vegan from Berkeley, the opposite of her daddy. You know what I mean? And I feel...
They hated you.
Oh, they fucking hated me. Yeah, they
hated
me.
It was your fault she was changing, dude.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's exactly it, dude. That's exactly... They told it. They told me. They hated me.
Yeah,
and they would pretend like, bless
me.
your whore, you're so nice, your family.
You.
They would say all that shit. Yeah, they would say all that shit. I love you. You're like family. We love you.
Thank God you did not have children with her.
Thank God, man. She had endometriosis, and they're like, if you want to cure it, you got to have kids. Endometriosis is cured if you got a kid. And but when we got divorced, she got her uterus ripped out, so she'll never procreate now. Thank God. When I saw that, when I heard, because people still keep in touch, someone told me she got her hysterectomy, and I was like, thank God.
Oh, I bet they were devastated. Her parents are devastated over it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's another generation they won't get to control.
I'm such a bad Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. I thought I was gonna get a little one. I could always tell them what to do. Yeah. Horrible, horrible people. Horrible people.
My husband's family is very wealthy, very educated, pretends to be like the perfect people, right? Everything is the way it looks. Like they're all about appearances. My family is poor, cusses, not educated. My dad didn't even have a high school diploma, the opposite of his family. And my husband is not comfortable around his family, would rather be around mine, would choose my family over his all day long. And his family doesn't like me. They hate me.
Makes sense. What do you know?
Well, I thought
how's it
my
working
family
out?
was trash. I thought my family was trash. And so I thought this new family was welcoming me in, and little did I know that I wasn't really family.
Oh my God, that is exactly what happened to me. I was like, oh, I've always wanted a functional family. Is this what families are like? My family was never, because my family, my mom and dad are both the babies of the family. They both came from poor families. My father's family, was rich before he was born and then got real poor and then moved to California. They had a huge financial problem. Like they failed and they moved to California, and my grandfather was, and they both my grandfather and grandmother both worked blue collar jobs. And my mom was fucking dirt ass poor. She had, I think, 6 brothers and sisters. Father was a fireman. Grandma was anyway, he was like a fire inspector at some point. I don't know. It was a whole thing. Poor. They were poor. And my parents always worked. I was a latchkey kid,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so when
me too.
And so when I came out to Virginia and they were like, we're all up in your business. We're always here. We talk every day. And I see them. I drive all the way over here to see you every day. I was like, all right, well, it's a little annoying, but this is what families are like, It's nice to have your support, I guess. Shit, I didn't know. I didn't know that this is I thought that's how families behave.
Yeah.
Yes, Sky, welcome to the family. That's exactly what they were like.
Yeah.
Welcome to the family. Y'all want some ham biscuits? And I'm like, I'm vegan. You've known that for over a year now. Well, you can have a little ham.
Yeah, they didn't care.
They didn't give a shit.
No.
They hated it.
Nope.
They hated if I drank a beer, they're like, why y'all got to drink? We're Baptists.
Jesus, that's even worse.
Oh yeah, they're Baptists. Never drank a drop.
My in-laws held it against me because I came to the relationship with a child, and I didn't know it until about 3 years ago.
Jesus. Leif Erikson saying, my ex got pregnant before the divorce, tried to pin it on me, but I hadn't slept with her over a year, and she knew it. Ran like hell from that one. What? A year?
What?
Oh my God. Hey, Leif, you're pregnant. Yeah, you're the daddy. I haven't fucked you in a year.
Women are fucking horrible, dude.
It's not just women. They're all bad. People can't be trusted with their own hearts, and with their family. Then you mix the family into that, it's over.
I'm way more scared of women than I am men.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I have very few female friends. All my friends are males.
Why?
I know what women are capable of, and I don't trust them.
Do you want to know what men are capable of? Holy shit.
I know. At least I know my male friends what they're capable of, and none of them are monsters. But they wouldn't smile at me and pretend to be my friend while they're trying to steal my family or whatever from me.
Let me think.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I know a story about a man doing something weird like that. I mean, there are men con artists who do weird shit like that, like the love con and stuff, but they're rare, I guess, right?
I've had a male friend who told me my high school sweetheart, the father of my son, was cheated on me again with somebody else, which was a lie. He was just trying to get with me, and he was my boyfriend's good friend. We were a friend group of 4. It was a band, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking musicians.
Fucking musicians.
But he had an ulterior motive. But
the ulterior motive thing is, it's funny because like I know men, they'll be like, man, fuck that bitch, I'm fucking leaving, I'm never gonna talk to that bitch again, fuck her. And meanwhile, I've talked to women that are like, you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna steal his bank card and I'm gonna empty his bank account and I'm gonna steal his car and I'm gonna take everything he owns because he needs to learn a lesson. Like if a woman cheats on a man, the guy's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna kill her," and then he doesn't do it because he doesn't have the guts, right? But a woman will be like, "I know his PIN number, and I have a tracker on his phone, so I know where he is at all times."
I have paid for a full Marshall stack.
Oh no!
And I have purchased and restored a 1968 Gibson acoustic that I cut the strings off all at once.
No.
And then I also ripped every wire out of the head of the Marshall stack and then taped them back up in there.
You done the crazy. You done the crazy, girl. No wonder you're scared of women.
But I paid for it.
You paid for it because you didn't want to go to jail. Holy shit.
No. I bought the equipment. Like, I bought the equipment. I bought the equipment, but I was going to let him take it, just not the way I had paid for it. So, yes, I know. But I was also 20.
God, can I tell you, like, so when I knew I was getting divorced, I went to the business account because we had a business together, and I was like, you know what? Who knows what's going to happen? I'm not gonna touch it. Fuck it. I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm not gonna touch it. There's money in the business account, but I'm not touching it. And I went to the bank and I took my personal account, the money that I had made, and I took all of it out and put it into another account, except for I think $500 because I needed money so I could still use my card, because the other wouldn't have done it already, right? I didn't have the card and shit. Mm-hmm. So I let that $500 in there. And by the end of the day, she'd stolen that $500 out of my bank account. Jesus Christ. It was only $500, and she must have seen that I had made a transfer and then still stole what I had left, which was the nothing that I had left, just so I had a little bit. And then she and her family came to my house and stole my guitars, she stole the couch, random shit. She stole it was like someone moved it, like someone had moved everything that I own out. The only thing that I had left were my comic books and stuff for some reason they didn't take. But they took
a guitar is different than a couch, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it's multiple guitars and a bass. A bass. I had multiple guitars and a bass and an instrument. She took all that.
Was she a musician?
No. She couldn't play anything. No, they just did that for spite. Yeah, just for spite. Just for spite. Oh God. It was her family egging her on too, because then I found out who helped her do it and who broke in and the thing was too. She said she didn't have a key to the house, and so I left. Thinking I just left town to hang out with a friend or something, trying to I was really depressed, of course. I was going through a breakup. And then I come home and there's nothing there. Nothing in my house. You
hurt her bad. You hurt her so bad.
I didn't hurt her though.
She was trying to hurt, she was lashing out, obviously.
No, it was, I'm telling you, it had to be her family because she was the one who, because here's what happened was I was she was shitting on me and shitting on me and shitting on me. And I said, if it's so bad, why don't you just leave me? What are you doing here? There's the door. And I was and it was like that. It was like that. It wasn't screaming. I was there's the door. Why are you shitting on me?
Her family was punishing you for leaving like a narcissist does.
So what she did, she left. She walked out the door when I said that. And then of course, she called my bluff and I was don't leave, baby, please. And that's when I'm and then the next day, I come home from work and there's this thing that I bought, this weird, an electric skillet that I had bought that was in her car or something. I forget why there was an electric skillet. It was a brand new electric skillet that I had paid for. It was on the kitchen counter and divorce paperwork. And so I just thought we were having a fight. Oh, and then I find out that she went to her parents' lawyer and had already gotten the paperwork done. And she was shitting me on me and shitting on me and shitting on me. And I couldn't fucking believe it. And I knew it was her parents' lawyer because on our wedding day, right before the wedding. They said, why don't you come out to lunch with me? Look, come on down here, down by this place. And then we were going, why don't you step in here? It's my lawyer's office. And I went, what the fuck is going on?
That's
and
weird.
Then they sat me down with the lawyer. They're like, we just want you to sign this prenuptial agreement. And so totally sabotaged. I signed it. Because what the fuck do I care? I didn't want their shit. I wasn't trying to like get in on anything. So I signed a prenup on the day of my wedding as when they fucking ambushed me. And so I knew the lawyer's name. And so I knew she didn't go to that lawyer. We knew lawyers. She didn't go to one of our lawyers. She went to her parents' lawyer. Then was like shitting on me and like a fucking abusive shit, just verbally just horrible, until the point where I went, just go. You hate me so much. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And so, so then later, I'm like, well, then once I got to that point, I got my lawyer and I said, look, man, it looks like I'm getting divorced. So I got my friend, the lawyer. We're talking about it. And he said like, and so I packed up some of her stuff and I brought it to our restaurant that we own together. And I gave it to her. I just left it there inside the restaurant. And I said, hey, I dropped off some of your stuff so you have clothing. You know, I want to make this as easy as possible for you. I don't want you not having your shit, you know? And then she said, thank you. And the next day, she broke into the house and took my dog, my guitars.
My God.
Yeah, my dog. She took my dog. So it wasn't about like hurting me. That had to be her parents. That's the only explanation that I've been able to come up with after all these years. And it's been like over 10 years, you know?
When my husband and I split up a couple years ago, he sold my car.
Yeah, that's the shit, man. Man, I was begging for, it was so bad that I posted a song. So I was watching MASH and I love the MASH song. So suicide is painless. And so I posted it on Facebook and the cops came to my house because people thought I was going to kill myself. Yeah. Oh, what's funny too is, what's really great, that was after she had broken into my house and took everything. She took everything, so I called the cops. Because what the fuck am I going to do? The cops came to my house. They're like, she's on the lease. Go fuck yourself. And I'm like, so there's nothing I can do? And they're like, nope. I'm like, so let me get this right. I'm on the lease at the restaurant. If I go into the restaurant and steal everything, break all the windows, tear the place apart, there's nothing you can do? They're like, nope. So you're telling me that I could go down to my restaurant, bust the mirrors, break everything, steal everything, take a sledgehammer to the place, and you're not going to do anything? Nope. And they all laughed. Cops were good for nothing. Exactly. Cops are good for nothing. Unbelievable.
I called them when I saw somebody drive off in my car that I paid for. I worked hard for that car, paid for it in cash.
Yeah.
And he sold it without a bill of sale. In Indiana, you're not allowed to do that, but he did it. And cops are like, it's marital property. I'm like, no, his name wasn't on it.
It's marital property. Nothing we could do.
That's a civil matter.
Yeah, exactly. You sons of bitches, you fucking cops. But if you were a company calling, an employee walked out with a stapler, the cops would be all over that shit. All over it. You want to press charges over a stapler? You got it. That's how they would treat that.
They embezzled 2 cheeseburgers? All right, we're going to get them.
We're getting them. God damn it, they stole 2 cheeseburgers and an extra fry?
Yep.
They gave a friend French fries in the drive-thru.
Fuck them.
Fuck them. Time to die.
Jail.
Get the gun.
It's a person
get the
of
shotgun,
color?
Bill.
We might have to shoot this one.
Yeah, that's exactly how they are. But you see, back to what I was saying, you don't have to be Captain Save-A-Ho to end up alone at 46, 47, however old I am now. It could be that you have survived a traumatic experience and are taking it slow before you put yourself in another shit fucking, like Karina was always
burnt down.
Yeah, you got your house shit.
The dude I dated when my husband and I split up burnt our house down.
Oh my God. How did he do that? With gasoline? How do you burn a house down?
There was accelerant. My newest music video has footage of our house after the fire. I clipped it in there. Yeah. Nope. They know who did it. They saw my camera coming out of the house, but they haven't arrested him. They said there's not enough proof.
Yeah. So, Sid Life saying, I don't want to date ever again. date, but date in a way where it's just friends for as long as possible.
Don't call it
Friend zone
dating.
them. Friend zone
Hang out.
everybody. Hang out. Go see movies. Laugh. Even
Yes,
hold
please.
hands. Can I tell you one of the best? I'll tell you a funny story. One of my favorite things. Let me get this Erika Kirk shit off because we're over 2 hours, and I'm not doing an Erika Kirk bit anymore. Hold on a second. All right,
Fuck
so
Erica.
fuck Erika Kirk. So when I first moved to Vegas, I went to I was like, well, I want to move to. There was a poetry reading, not a poetry, but like an open mic, and they had poetry. It was like an artsy poetry reading. No, I mean open mic. So I went. I brought my book. My book had been published at that point, and I read some of it there, and so everyone was coming up and talking to me because I am a really good fucking poet, and so they all came up and talked to me. I instantly made like 10 friends that night. Knew I was in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, and there was this one lady there who was just so goddamn nice to me. Her name was Laura, and she was Mormon, and she became like my best friend. We went on roller coasters together. We went to clubs together. Sometimes in clubs, because you're getting separated, I would hold her hand and pull her through the club and stuff. But it wasn't romantic. That was just like close friendship, you know? And one time I got drunk and kissed her, but that was it. That was all that ever happened. But I was just really drunk, and we talked about it the next day. I was like, "Are we cool?" And she's like, "We cool." Yeah, I get it, man. It's all right. But she was the Mormon, I was the drunk. We both were like single, talking about life, and she could drive and I could drink. You know what I mean? It was great.
That's a topic you need to have for discussion. My husband and I, is one of the biggest fights we get into. My husband does not believe men and women can be friends without a man wanting something more in the long run.
Not true at all.
I believe 100% it's not true.
Not true at all. I know that many men are like that. Many men are just like waiting for a vulnerable moment and shit. But I've never been like that. I'm not waiting for a woman to like. I don't know, man. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
That's telling me that I'm not interesting enough to be friends with. You just want to have sex with me later on. You know what I'm saying? That's insulting.
I think that a lot of guys are walking around pretty fucking horny, so I don't think that that's what they're thinking. I think a lot of guys are like, I don't know. I've had female friends. I've had women who are my friends that I'm like, we're ever going to be as friends. That's all it's ever going to be. And that was like hardcore. But I've also had female friends that it's like, we're friends. But, you know, if something happens, then that would be pretty cool. Like, I've had friends like that, too. What I haven't had is women friends where it's like, I'm just biding my time. Like, I've never done that, you know?
He says, whether it's subconsciously or not, that no man has a platonic relationship with a woman without that being the end goal. Which is insulting.
Nah, I don't know about. I don't think so. Because even when I've had so many women friends where I'm like, you know, we're probably gonna have sex sometime during this, right? And like we talked about it. It's like, yeah, maybe we are, maybe we won't. Let's just play out this will they, won't they thing. And we talked about it.
He's like, I don't have any woman friends. I don't have any women as friends. I'm sorry.
It sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Women are fun.
He's like, you're my only woman friend. Bitch, he hardly has any friends, so I don't know what he's comparing it to.
Scott, your choice of women are not so good, maybe just wrong ones. I think my choice of women have been pretty good. What do you mean? I've had some long-term, pretty good relationships that I thought were pretty healthy. Just because they ended doesn't mean they were the wrong ones. Like, there were some good times, you know, and we had some good stuff.
Life happens.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think that's true. I don't think I have bad taste in women. Sometimes I'm a little too forgiving. I mean, it's not my taste in women. And sometimes I fuck shit up. Sometimes I'm like, I should have bought you more flowers. I should have held your hand more. What's that song go? I should have made more pictures with you or something, you know? Sometimes you get too comfortable yourself and you like forget to do some of those like princessy things that the women like. You forget to
go on a date.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you're just fucking broke and you don't have money to go on dates. And so you're like, can we go on a picnic? And she's like, yeah, sure. but then you never do. And, and whatever. Sometimes you guys watch TV. That's the other thing. Sometimes in long-term relationships, you have times when you're going out all the time, and other times you have times when you're like, you're watching a lot of TV because you're fucking broke. And then when you have money again, you're going out again. Like, I don't know. Long-term relationships are fun that way.
A long-term relationship is the best because you can sit in silence without it being awkward. You can laugh during sex at anything without it being awkward. And you don't get that when you're just not in a long-term relationship.
Totally. It's not insulting. It's biological. This ain't biological. What are you talking about?
Here we
biological.
go. See?
It's so weird having it's so weird. You're telling me in this whole grand history of humanity, people are biological. It's just so stupid. Like villages before.
It's insulting.
Well, you know what it comes from, though. It's because of the rise of private property. People have private property, so they think that they own somebody else. They think that women need to be sent to the kitchen, and this is my woman, and she doesn't belong to anybody else. That's what that is.
There's a reason why when a woman gets divorced, she has to petition the courts to get her fucking name back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Satanic Steven, every female I've tried to just be friends with, tried making it sexual. That's happened to me a lot too, but that's why I talk about it with women. That's why I talk about it. Hey, just so you know, we're not going to do it. That doesn't always work out either because...
then it's a challenge.
In my past, I've also been a heavy drinker and, things happen, especially if she wants it to happen. Like I've woken up and been like, oh, I guess I'm having sex right now. I'm on my back and this is happening. Like that's happened to me.
That's predatorial. Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally, yeah. If the genders were reversed, it would totally be.
No, that's 100% predatorial. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, it actually means they're the wrong one. It doesn't mean they're the wrong one. I don't know. It's just like, this is my life. I don't think they're the wrong one. Sometimes I feel like sometimes I put people in positions to hurt me and they take advantage of that. And I don't know how to live otherwise. I like being
How could
vulnerable
you
with other humans.
Cut off an entire population of humans of the opposite
50%
sex?
of them.
I can't comprehend. I just can't comprehend thinking that that's not an option for friendship, that I can't enjoy their company without there being strings attached to it, whether now or in the future. Like, that's just really fucked up.
Yeah, and it gets weird. Yeah, I've lost friends because I wouldn't sleep with them. So have I. And so have most women. Yeah, so have most. Yeah, everybody. But that's why it's important to talk about it. Guys, saying you put people in positions to hurt you sounds like self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, I guess let me elaborate. I feel like I'm pretty defensive, but I'm also really open to see what's going to happen next. But I'm very defensive with my own heart. And then after a while, I do put them in a way, I open up to a point where it's like, okay, well, now I'm very vulnerable. And so far, every time I've done that, I end up hurt because of it. So there you go. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, perhaps. Maybe it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. But also, it's okay, maybe things will get better in the future. You get back up, you try again, man. You get back up and you try again.
That's what life is.
That's what life is. I get easily distracted by drama and accepting others' interpretations of reality, so I stay away from women. Shit, that's a good plan. But I mean, not all women are the same. I understand being careful, but staying away from women, I don't know. I think they're great. You can learn a lot from them. They're funny. They got all sorts of cool shit. Yeah, I have boundaries. I want to connect on interest first. Yeah, so do I. Yeah, exactly. But then eventually, you get to the point where your guard comes all the way down, and then it's like, I feel stupid for putting my guard down. That's all. And that's bound to happen. Maybe it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're going to get hurt. Guess what? We're all walking wounded. No one out there is walking without bruises.
It's proof we're alive.
Yeah, it's so funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, you choose the wrong women." No, man, I'm just like everybody else. Things are.
I get hurt by people all the time who aren't romantic
exactly.
relationships.
Totally. Friends have hurt me. Lovers have hurt me.
Family, my
Family has
mother,
hurt me.
my sister.
Yeah,
come on.
The government has hurt me.
Yeah.
Bosses have hurt me.
I don't need you to be a sexual partner to cause pain on me.
Yeah, I guess like if I could put it, sometimes I've been too trusting. Especially I've trusted bosses where I'm like, is this boss has my best interest? All right, boss, I
Oh,
trust
we're
you.
family. We're family.
Yeah,
We're
I trust
family.
you. You're gonna take care of me, right? Okay, I'm gonna do it. And then
I'm
I
gonna make
take
you a
the
bunch
fall.
of money, but you're gonna
Yeah,
take care of me and mine, right? Oh yeah, we will.
right.
We will. We
Yeah,
got
don't
you.
worry, we got you. Yeah, we got you. That's how it is, right?
Idiot.
We got you, and then it's like, fuck, you didn't
Fucking
got
idiot.
me.
I
You
was so
didn't got
stupid.
me. You didn't got me.
That only happened
Dang it.
once. Never again.
Dang it, you didn't have me. Fuck.
Hurt me so bad I worked for myself for the next 20 years.
Nice. I like it. I like it. I'm trying to do it the same way. I'm trying to do
It's
it the same way.
happiness. It's happiness and it's a freedom you can't describe.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked for myself before, and I really appreciate that so much more than having to have. I like doing my own thing, you know, and I'm gonna do that. I work so hard. Why am I working for somebody else? They don't deserve it. You
I'm a
know?
workaholic. I don't want
Yeah.
to work a holic for anybody else but myself.
Yeah, totally. And like, it's funny because like my last employer, she was always. She was always asking for more, but then she couldn't really give clear direction of what she wanted. But then if it wasn't something that she liked, she'd be like, well, I'm not going to give you any direction. I'm just going to give you yes or no. And it's like, well, I'm shooting in the dark here, lady. And I was thinking, like, putting all this extra effort into trying to figure out what you like, I could just doing my own shit. I could just be working on my own stuff. Tell me what you want, and I'll try to make it happen. But other than that, like,
It's less
done.
stress too.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Although we're never off the clock, we always work. Everywhere we go, we're working.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, everywhere I've worked my whole life trying to build businesses, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. You know, I've built restaurants and cafes and bars, and I've done it for other people, and I made people a lot of fucking money. And that's the thing. They see that you're entrepreneurial, so they know that they can make you, they know that you'll work a million, you'll work a million miles to save somebody else's business. You know,
yeah.
you'll work a million hours just to save their business, make them millions of dollars, and they see you coming, right? We want that entrepreneurial spirit. Yeah, you do.
We want that P&L. We want that P&L from you that you're delivering.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's always that way. But that's what I think. Like, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Work
It's
for yourself.
kayfabe, baby. It's work for yourself. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna go. Oh, Jim is a Trump guy. You'll sleep in and stay broke while begging for clicks, says Jim Crack Corn. Yeah, Jim cracks corn. That's exactly what it is. Clearly
Fuck
a
off.
magger. Buy more Melania coin. Jim cracks corn. I'm sure it's gonna be great. Buy more Melania coin.
Stop supporting pedos, fucking weirdo.
these magger chomos every time. It's so funny to me.
It's fucking weird, dude.
They're really into it, man. They're really into it.
They're so into it.
They're really into the chomocracy, man. They can't get enough, man. They're ready.
There's enough
They're
guillotines for them all.
There's enough for all of them, indeed. Trump RX saved you money. Jesus Christ.
With that 1,600% that doesn't exist. You know, Doge checks. Come on, people. Stop.
It's so
You sound
funny to me.
stupid. You sound so stupid.
They've got it. They've got it made.
They're why we can't have nice things.
They are there. I just banned them. Sometimes these maggers got to go, you know, especially when I'm 18 minutes past the 2 hours.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Well, so it's funny because I was talking to my friend who lives in Las Vegas, and he wants me to buy a house in Las Vegas. I was like, I've already lived in Las Vegas. I don't want to live in Las Vegas again. I'm thinking about New Mexico. And everyone's like, make sure you find out about capital gains. If you sell that house, you're going to pay all your assets and you're going to pay off all your money. I'm like, I talked to a CPA. She says I'm fine.
You're fine. You're fine. The rich have made it for themselves, so they're fine. You're fine.
I'm fine.
You're fine.
I don't have to worry about it because I've lived here
Nope,
for
we don't
5
even have
years.
to tell them. We don't even have to tell them.
I'm not
You
even going
passed
to
the
tell
test.
them.
You pass the test. You pass the test. You pass the test. you're fine. It's all yours. It's all yours. And when I found out you had equity and this option, it wasn't just selling the property, I was all for it. Like at first I was like, yeah, it's his mom's house. It's California, da, da, da. And then when I heard the circumstances, I 100%, my professional opinion, my personal opinion is sell, 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 sell.
So can I tell you a secret in front of everybody? So 5 years ago, the house was appraised.
Mm-hmm.
And I owed, I think, like $200,000 or something like that. I forget how much. Now I think I owe like $150,000 5 years later.
Awesome.
And the house is worth double what it was appraised for, supposedly.
Awesome. I'm so happy for you. Sell that bitch.
That's it, right? I just don't know what to do first. So
sell it. That's what
sell
you do
it
first.
And then you sell it and then look for a house?
Yes. Because you could have the option to pay cash on a house, okay? Wherever you move to.
Yeah.
Which will get you a discount, okay? And there's all kinds of other deals when you have the liquid cash to do so, and you're less stressed, okay? And it is I'm guessing where you're going. I tried to look it up. Is it a buyer or seller's market there? Do you know?
There, it's a buyer's market.
Okay.
It's a buyer's market there. It's a seller's market here.
Oh my God. It's like your mom set you up, dude.
She did, yeah. And she always said she was setting me up, but I didn't believe it, you know? I didn't believe it. Smoking Blondie, I didn't believe it. So, all right. So let me just walk through this because I'm kind of stupid, okay? Because I've never done this before. Consider me
it's scary.
Just clay, right? Just blank clay. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Like you're a MAGA who just walked into my office.
I'm like a MAGA who just walked into your office, okay? So,
yes.
So first steps first. I got to call my lawyer, the probate thing. That's fine. And then I contact a realtor and say, I want to sell.
Yes.
And then that realtor, she comes over. She's like, okay, well, you got to clean this place.
Or you hire somebody to do it, or you pay your realtor to hire someone to do it.
Oh, they can do all that stuff? They start that process?
Yeah, you can pay them. I bet your probate attorney even knows somebody who will do that for you.
Because I need to I need to clean it up. I need to sell some of the shit, you know, and I don't even know what I have. I don't even know all the stuff that is here because I got like a garage full of stuff and like it feels like so much. I promised on my morning show I was going to take pictures of my recliners and try to do a local pickup on eBay. And because if that works, I'm just going to start selling stuff on eBay as it goes, you know?
Or donate it.
But there's stuff that's worth stuff and I don't want to donate it because I can't move it.
I'm not saying donate it all, right? I'm just saying if you get to the point where you're not selling stuff fast enough or whatever, just donate it.
Oh yeah, I would donate if someone would come and get it. That's the biggest part, right? I'll give it away. A lot of this stuff I will give away, like furniture and stuff. I'd be happy to give it away if someone will come move it, you know?
And depending on what kind of stuff you have, you know, there are niches like. So my family's into like, you know, antiques and stuff like that. So like carnival glass and.
Yeah, that type of shit. What do you do with that shit?
So my family is up in the fucking Chicago Science and Industry Museum. It's such good carnival glass. So don't ask me.
Good stuff.
It's sold for lots of fucking money. I was like, what is this shit? Like it just.
Yeah, some of that stuff is worth money.
But just, you know, get what's sentimental to you. You can even have those boxes delivered where you just load all your stuff into. They move the box to the new place.
Oh yeah, the pods. Yeah. I've been thinking about that too. My ex's dad bought me this like 80-inch screen, and I'm like, am I supposed to buy a new one or am I supposed to ship this thing? I don't know what to fucking do with this thing. Like, am I supposed to ship this thing or just sell it to somebody here?
Ship it.
Think so?
Yeah, ship it.
I guess so. Put it in the pod, right? And then just
everything's movable.
But wait a second. Hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, God, this is why I'm getting fucked up, right? Okay, let me ask you. All right. Step 1, attorney. Call that lady. Maybe she'll have some plans, right? Step 2, I get a realtor, and she's going to help me sell the house.
She's going to get the house appraised. She's going to help you list. She's going to give you a list of stuff to do while she starts listing it and preparing it. She's going to ask what you want out of it, what you owe on it. All that stuff's going to be sorted.
Okay. All right. Then eventually, and I'm guessing pretty quickly, it sells. then what? Then it's like rush to mad crazy. I got to find a house in 2 weeks. Like, well, how am I supposed to, like, how do
You
I
take
get
a
a house?
breath. You take a
Yeah.
breath and you call a realtor at the place where you're moving or where you want to look, and you tell
Yeah.
them what you're looking to spend and what you're looking for, and they call you back with options.
And then I just buy in cash. And I'm like, that's it.
And then you offer, say, I have liquid cash. I want to make a cash offer.
Yeah. Because I got this house about to fucking sell and I can buy I don't need a mortgage.
Right. No, it's a different monster when you say you have cash option.
Yeah, because then it's like you can even say I got cash. I want a break, because it's going to cost you less to close, right? It costs them less to close without mortgages and stuff.
And if you trust the realtor that helps you find the place, then you tell them the plan. I'm looking for X, Y, and Z for business X, Y, and Z. Can you help me with that?
What do you mean? Oh, like the second property, the idea of I was thinking I'll move into a place first. And then I'll like learn the neighborhood, because then there becomes the question: do I want to rent out the one that I'm in and buy one that I like better?
You may not even like it. You might find somewhere, maybe even 2 towns over. You don't know.
Right. But get into a place, and then that liquid just sits. Right. I could sit on the liquid because I'm not in a rush, because I'm not going to pay any gains.
But we're not going to have you sit on it. It's going to be making you money. We're not putting it in a savings account. We're going to put it somewhere. It's making money till you need it.
Okay.
Right?
That's the idea, but what's that? What kind of options are there?
Like a financial advisor, something that's not risky. See?
Yeah, something that's got like a little bit of interest, not just like a savings account where it's like 2% or something. Something that's doing like 4 or 5%.
Exactly. Yeah. And I even thought of this the other day. You may even decide further down the road, you want to help out other entrepreneurs invest in their company.
I'm a capital investment guy. I'm a whatever. I'm like
fucking
venture. I'm a venture capitalist. No, I really like the idea of owning 2 houses for some reason, and one pays for the other. I really like that idea because it's just cash flow, and if everything goes tits up, I have 2 assets I can sell. Barring that none break, but even if they burn, right? Even if there's a burn, I have insurance and stuff on these places. So
you'll completely be covered. I can help give you a system to check your renters. You don't just rent to anyone. You let it sit empty instead of taking a risk. You don't need the income, right?
I don't need it because the whole point was to not need And
when you make desperate decisions, that's when you get screwed over as a landlord.
That's right. That is when you get screwed over as a landlord. You're right.
You could also invest in commercial because businesses are more likely to pay than private.
That's true. I could invest in commercial.
Yes. There's all kinds of things we could sit down and I could help you talk about.
But first things first. I got to sell the house. And that means I got to declutter the house. I got to call the lawyer. I got to do all those things. Actually, I'm still too far ahead. I think first steps first, I need to go and visit Nob Hill in New Mexico to see if it's still like what I want to do.
You have the money to do that?
Not really, but I think because it's only $300 to fly there. Like that's not so bad. Okay. But the hotels are kind of expensive. But what I'm going to do is reach out to their tourism board and say, hey, I'm thinking about relocating, and I'm a content creator. I'll make content about your town. And I'll talk about and I'll go into houses and look at the real estate, and other Californians are trying to do similar things. I'll make some content. Would you put me up? Because they'll have connections, because tourist boards usually have connections with hotels and stuff.
You could do that with Airbnbs too. Reach out to the Airbnbs on your own and say, hey, I'm going to record some content. I could advertise your Airbnb. You may not get a full ride, but you could get a discount.
Ooh. Nice. Get an old motel with a neon sign. They have that because Nob Hill is on Route 66. And so I might be able to, the tourist board's always trying to get people out there, do it on lives. Yeah. And as a human, that's called being a landlord. I know, Edward, we talk about being a landlord. It's a whole thing. Oh, we lost Blondie. She's gone. Exactly. Airbnb or Vrbo. Get a timing home and Crazy Jackdaw. Holy shit, Crazy Jackdaw. Oh my God. There we're third way to New Mexico right now. Thank you so much, Crazy Jackdaw. You're incredible. You're incredible, Jersey. Thank you, Jackdaw. Jackie Boyle, thank you so much. Like, we're going to do this, man. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. We're going to do it. We're going to do it, Crazy Jackdaw. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're moving to New Mexico. Crazy Jackdaw, we're moving to New Mexico. We need cool vegan road trip stays. We're moving to New Mexico, Crazy. We're going to fucking move to New Mexico. We're going to move to New Mexico. Well, first we got to visit. First we got to visit New Mexico and see if it's everything I hope it's going to be. Yeah. Look at some places. I'll wear a body cam. 100 pounds is like 130. That's true. Edward Thornton. Well, that means that once YouTube takes their piece, it's like $100. So we're a third of the way. We're a third of the way back. We're a third of the way. A third of the way. Thank you, Crazy Jackdaw. Oh my God, this is gonna be a crazy life, man. A whole new world. A whole fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no or where to go. Crazy Jackdaw, I'm thinking about learning. The conversion covers your YouTube cut. That's exactly right. Yeah. Parallelist map. That's it. Thank you. Can I get some green hearts for Jackie, please? I mean, if I go to New Mexico and it's everything I hope it's going to be, I'm out. And it could happen so fast. It could happen so fast. Yeah. Do it, says Parallelish. Okay. That's it. Crazy. It's a new adventure, you know? A new adventure. Earthship in New Mexico, sustainable living. Yeah, except a New Mexico Earthship costs $1 million, and it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. So I don't want to live in the middle of fucking nowhere. I really love the Earthship idea, but I don't want to live in the middle. I went to the Earthship community. I've been there, outside of Taos. I dream about living in a place like that, but they are in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody around for miles and miles and miles. You removed the 90 days from the agenda already. Shit. Well, May 24th will be 60 days. May 24th will be 60 days. And I think that that's when I will visit New Mexico. Yeah. Hell yeah, New Mexico is rad. Rent out room, rent out house one. This house that I'm in right now, I gotta sell it. I won't have the liquid to buy another place. I can't. Everyone says I should just rent this one out, which sounds like a good idea, but I don't have any liquid to play with. I need liquid to move money. I need money. I'm fucking broke. I'm fucking dirt poor. I'm fucking broke. And I need to sell the house because all my money is tied in the house. All of my money is in the house. Yeah. You could build your own Earthship. All you need is land and friends and trash and time. And time is something I do not have. Maybe someday in the future, I would love to do an Earthship. I've always thought it was amazing. I love the whole idea of an Earthship. But you need land and time. You do need money, and you need friends. Yeah. First month and last. What do you mean first month and last? You mean like now and then like, what do you mean first month and last? What are you talking about? Still picking losing battles. Are we, you leftists never learn. What's the losing battle now? What's that now? Warwick? Warwick, are you missing out on something? How do you feel about Erika Kirk donning a hijab? How do you feel about that? She's going to do the hijab thing now. She's doing the hijab thing. Jack, this year's 100th anniversary of Route 66. Go and do a road trip live, etc. Oh, that's a good idea. This year's the Route 66 100th anniversary? What? Is 2026 the 100th anniversary of Route 66? 2026 car enthusiasts and passionate road trippers will celebrate the 100th anniversary of Route 66, a legendary thoroughfare. Wow. 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 I'll be moving theoretically. Wow. I'll be moving theoretically in the 100th anniversary. Rent the house you take, then that, and rent another. Fund a size 66 road trip. Yes, please. Man, you guys forget when I was on Route 66, I guess. We were on Route 66 a lot when I was on the road. I did a lot of Route 66. I've been almost the whole thing. I've done almost all of Route 6. I think I've done all of Route 66, to be honest with you, because it's like Chicago to LA. I'm pretty sure I've done all of Route 66. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. Kind of crazy. 100 years of socialism, Route 66. Yes. You've never been on Route 66? It's not a real road anymore. You know, it's gone. It's Route 66 is historic. It doesn't actually exist anymore. I've been on almost all of the Lincoln Highway too. The first transcontinental highway, the Lincoln Highway. I've done almost all of that as well. Crazy to think about. Yeah. All right, this is the show. Thank you all for being here. We're gonna do the nighttime show. Will be gaming. Oh my God, Veg in the Woods. Holy shit. 66. Thank you so much. Please, can I get some green hearts for Veg in the Woods? Thank you so much, Veg in the Woods. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're trying to get money for a Route 66 trip, a road trip down Route 66. New Mexico's only 2 states over, so I could get there on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. I see a lot of Route 66 travel shows. Yeah. Yeah, that's smart gear advice. You could buy a duplex in New Mexico, one property that you can live in and rent out. Maybe, but maybe not in the part of town I want. I have this very specific part of Albuquerque I want to live in, and the houses are not duplexes. They're like 1930s and 40s Adobe-style homes that are like really well made. They're really well made. They're on Route 66. They're historic. They look very charming. I'm a little bit afraid of their height of their ceilings because I'm afraid of hitting my head on stuff, but I'll have to figure that out too. Yeah. Rent an electric car or take a train. Nah, man. Albuquerque's awesome, says Positrack. Yeah, Albuquerque's pretty awesome. I've been a couple times. Buy a camper, brother. A camper. I don't know what people don't understand about me not having money for shit like campers, okay? I drive a Honda CR-V that is telling me every day it needs an oil change, okay? But somebody sent me money for an oil change, and I am going to do that. But I didn't need to do it. It's at 10% now, so I'm procrastinating. I'm trying to save up. Somebody sent me $75 to do an oil change, though. So that's the life I'm leading right now. I have $75 in my Venmo. Someone sent me a Venmo for my $75 so I can get my oil changed, and I'm going to do that real soon. But that's the car that I have. I'm going to drive that mother effer to New Mexico. Yeah. Selling the pad. Yeah, I'm selling the pad. Yeah. Broke in RV with some equity, then rent your house now. I don't have the money for... What do you mean get the RV with some equity, then rent your house? How do you think that's possible? Why do people think that's possible? I can't just go to the bank and say, hey, I'd like an RV, please, so I can rent out my house. They don't just give that to you. They don't just give that to you. RVs do suck, that's true. But it's not really a point. It's not the point whether or not they suck. The point is that the bank won't just give me the money for that. It's not like I could just take money out of my equity. And I have a lot of equity. But they're not just going to give it to me. They don't just give you... You could take an equity loan, my man, and buy whatever you want. I looked into equity loans. The problem is there's a roadblock with that. I cannot take an equity loan out because my YouTube channel is not making enough money to pay back the loan in the amount of time that they want it. And so they don't want to give me the loan. And even if I could, it doesn't matter because the house technically isn't in my name until I sell it. When I sell it, it goes into my name. It's a whole thing. I cannot do an equity loan. It's not possible. I cannot do a home equity loan. Yes. Have you heard of equity loans? Yes. I cannot do one. I cannot do an equity loan. You understand? It's not possible. It's not possible. I tried to do an equity loan to pay off some debts, and they would not do it. Because I'm playing everything so close. I am so close to the wire all the time that they will not give it to me. So if you were to rent a house, does it have to be a commercially zoned? No. No. My neighbor rents. My neighbor's a renter. She's been renting there for like 15 years. She's a renter. Yeah. Find a hard money lender. No. I want to sell it and buy a house in New Mexico and focus on my creative life and live in a place where I can meet people and be in a community and walk to the supermarket. I want to walk to the supermarket. That's right. That's why wills suck. Yeah, well. They won't take what is income. No, they won't take. They only will take what my YouTube channel is making as income. They wouldn't even take, like, my ex-girlfriend was paying a part of the mortgage. They wouldn't even take that as income. Even though she was paying me like $1,000 a month or whatever to pay for the house income, for the house mortgage, and they wouldn't even accept that. So, rent a room, share your space. No. Yeah, Nob Hill area. That's what I'm thinking, Nob Hill area, Perry. That's where I want to live. I want to live in the Nob Hill area. Yeah, you can visit me when you do Route 66 for sure. Yes, anytime, Sayard. Absolutely. They won't accept the lease or whatever as income. That is unrealized income, right? That's not, if I don't have a lease, I'd have to have the lease signed before I left. Because you're saying buy an RV and then rent it out. Rent out the house. I can't rent out the house without leaving. I can't leave without selling the house. I can't leave because I don't have any money. I can't rent it out because I can't leave. You understand? RTP says his county sets his AC's thermostat. That's fucking crazy. He's in Arizona. RTP's in Arizona. I'm over the 2 hours, I know. Yeah, you can visit. All right, that's it. That is the show. I'm gonna do gaming. I'm doing gaming in a little while. A couple hours I'll do gamings, and we'll be hanging out in a little bit. Please check me out in a second. Please like and subscribe. Put on the bell icon if you want to do that. And I'll see you tomorrow for Morning Sky. Thank you so much. Do a B&B with a cool bar. Man, I fucking would love to do that. Maybe I'll do it on the Route 66. You should have lied about the source of the $100,000 from X. Banks hate honesty. Look me up when you get there. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Really? Yeah, I want to do New Mexico. I want to do Albuquerque, Nob Hill is where I want to live. Perry, that's where I want to be. I want to walk to that little co-op they got there for the supermarket, man. I want to walk to that shit. I want to buy my shit at that little, what's it called? Like Mananita Co-op or some shit. That's where I want to go, Perry. Yeah, banks do hate honesty, but that's okay. It'll make me do something different. Loves, guys. Thank you so much. Sell it to a trust out of Wyoming and say it's a rehab to do special needs in school and get some tax dollars. I'm not interested in all that crazy stuff. Yeah. Dang, your ex-GF was nice. Rent a room, buy time. Nah. I'll go the hard way. I'll do it the hard way. I don't need that much time. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on the other side. Thank you very, very much. Sing a song in the middle of the desert, Sky. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Goodbye, everybody. Illegitimate non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. And Godspeed.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.